were of a primitive and faulty version of necrodermis that lacked the majority of the material's signature regenerative properties. Upon questioning severely, Clovis told V to ease off and irritatedly informed the Engineer to tell him and wait for his approval before taking any drastic measures in the future. V was confused and told him she had tried to inform him, as she sent messengers that should have arrived at the bridge quite a while ago. Suspecting foul play, Clovis went to quell mutiny on the gunnery decks. Upon arriving, Clovis and Gradius were quickly briefed on the situation. The mutineers had already been contained, and no more propaganda or people could go in or out unless the Scutari lifted radio interference and the blockade. Urizen went to scout out the situation inside the gun decks using his superior stealth and agility, and ended up finding the apparition of a small, deformed-looking child. Using nonverbal information from the child and his own findings, Urizen was able to get the two Mechanicus out through the ship's Tenebro maze, while Clovis asserted his authority through the interrogation table. Once the leader of the mutiny was dispensed with, Gradius and his Scutari made short work of the rest of the mutineers. As the retinue came out of the warp and into the Chairs of Post system itself, they were contacted by the same mysterious entity who had talked with them after Abril's untimely death. It wanted the group to free it from its prison, informing the party it needed to gather a key from each of the other planets in the system. Clovis, wanting to eliminate it and figure out what it was, played along and gathered his retinue to begin acquiring the first key from the paradise world of Frestivia. Aboard the bridge, scans begin to come in on the ship's holoscreens on the planet and its surface. After a few days in low orbit, putting all instruments into scanning the planet, data begins pouring in for the retinue to take a look at. So, first of all, everyone go to slide 5. Look! It's a beautiful-looking rotating pixel planet GIF.
Wow,
Nice.
It's a beautiful rotating pixel planet GIF.
How do you... Did you make that?
I found it actually a really cool site that can basically generate with all sorts of different color palettes and, like, land masses, etc.
Holy shit, send me that fucking link.
I'll send you that after this session. I saved it for myself. It's really cool.
I love you,
Anyways.
Loon, thank you.
Yeah, no problem. I can also send you the planet surface generator that I used for the next slide. So,
appreciate
on this planet, you see there are 2 major land masses and a couple of smaller islands, and 2 points of interest that the scanners have picked up. Whoever would be currently manning the scanners or looking at them, so that would probably be all of you, except for maybe Gradius, who may be dealing with the ship's engine and keeping the ship in orbit. But at the very least, Urizen, Matthias, and Clovis, I'd like you, one of you, please make me an awareness check with a 22 bonus, and one of you make me an awareness check with a -8.
I would imagine.
Okay, let me see. Awareness. Yes, I have that trained, so that's...
I also have awareness trained.
So,
can you hear me?
tell me
Hello?
which one you're rolling for first.
Hello, can anyone hear me?
Who has the highest perception here?
Who's the
I
highest
have a-
perception?
I have a
30.
I have a perception of 40.
I have a 36.
50.
Okay, Urizen, I'm gonna give you the one with the -8. The other 2 of you roll
damn
for
it.
the 22.
Okay.
Got it.
That fails.
That works.
Roll
Yeah, that's
1d100. That's... Sorry. 1d100. 27! Hell yeah.
Okay, Skid.
Yeah.
So, you see where that little 1 is?
Yep.
Right here? Okay, so... As you kind of basically, zoom in on that area and begin to try and look for any signs. And you see, like, basically so the planet's entire, basically, land masses and surface, for the most part, is just covered in this thick jungle terrain. As it is a paradise world, you scanners have indicated it's fairly temperate, the climate is fine, you guys will be able to breathe, all of that. But as you kind of zoom in on this area, you see it looks kind of dead. Basically, there's some big structure, you kind of think, maybe? A very giant thing in the center of a, like, decayed, kind of blighted area. You don't know what that thing in the center is, as you did not succeed the roll, but you do pinpoint that as kind of weird.
Cool.
Diego, you see that in one place, a whole bunch of, like, the ship's metal detectors are going off. And as you zoom in, you see the remains of what looks to be a crashed Xenos ship sitting on the planet's surface. You don't know what could be in the ship, but you do know it's definitely not operational from the angle and just how it's sitting there. And that it looks to have been there for a little while, as it seems to have been slightly overgrown. Lastly, Tam.
Yes.
All around the planet, there's a whole bunch of life signs. You know, you're on a paradise planet, but you do notice that there's a couple of very large ones, as if there's some sort of, like, giant creatures slowly moving around the planet in certain areas.
Oh, fun.
So, something big lives down there. Whether or not it's predatory remains to be seen, but it may be wise to keep a lookout for.
Kind of hard to miss, but okay.
Yes, kind of hard to miss. That is definitely true. So that's the information you gather from the scans. The 2 points of interest are marked, and I will put their information, what that you got, in the Rogue Traders, in the game general.
Please do. I already
Am
forgot.
Am I able to identify what type of alien ship it is?
Roll me Forbidden Lore Xenos.
I should have that. Let's see. Forbidden Lore Xenos, that is int full. That is a 50. Nope. I guess I
can
need.
try. Or Matthews can try, I guess.
Can I make a Hellberry roll as well? Or am I not there?
You are there. Do you have Forbidden Lore Xenos?
No.
Can I roll Forbidden Lore Xenos?
Yes, Skid, you can.
Banger.
Can
The alien hunters.
The alien hunters are sitting there like, okay, guys, what could it possibly be?
Fuck! That's off
You
by
go to
7.
Xenos roll.
That's off
If
by
you have
7.
it, Tam, yes.
Damn it, I do.
If that was the number I rolled, I'd have gotten it.
That's 7 off.
God damn it.
Oh.
Okay, you all basically.
Loon, I think I might succeed that.
What were
Do
you
you have
rolling
Forbidden
for?
Lore
Do you have
Xenos?
Forbidden Lore Xenos?
Oh, no, I don't.
Then unfortunately it won't. But I will give you that as a roll for the awareness check that Skid made, so that you can identify what that something is.
Alrighty, cool.
So, you all are basically looking at this ship, and you basically kind of go, well, it's not, you know... You know what it's not. You know it's not Chaos in origin, and you know it's definitely not Tau in this part of the galaxy. But exactly what it is, it could be Eldari, maybe Drukari. For all you know, it could be a Ratgul ship, but it's not human and it's not Chaos.
Perhaps a closer look is in order.
I'd agree.
Adios. You look back at what Matthias was looking at, that giant something in the middle of the blighted point on the planet. It appears to be a giant tree. And when I say giant, I mean giant. Like, think a palace-sized tree standing in the
That's a
middle of
big
this
tree.
dead, blighted area.
And considering how big palaces in 40k can be, that's a fucking
Yeah.
huge-ass tree.
It's a fucking massive tree. It's like the biggest tree you guys have ever seen in your entire life.
That's a chonker.
Yeah, it's very large. So, Gradius, you were kind of looking at it, and you're able to deduce that.
Mhm.
Before, to Matthias, it kind of looked like a blob.
And then from there, Gradius will just point at it, and it goes, some massive foliage life form.
Yeah, so it is. Quite unusual. This is a paradise world, but I didn't quite expect something that big. Huh. Have any of you encountered a specimen that large in your travels before?
This unit
I
has
can't
not.
exactly say I have. Not this large.
It is very unusual. Huh. Noted.
Well,
Maybe-
without any degrees of success, I'll also let you in on the second part of information. You kind of squint at it, and you notice anomalies in that entire blighted area with the scans. something appears to be interfering with anything coming towards that area. So think of it like a massive repelling field. It means that the entire area is kind of covered with. Originally, you didn't quite notice it, but upon taking this closer look, there's a lot of static, a lot of areas around there that are missing, which means that landing right next to it would probably not be advised. Going over there, sure, but given that you don't have a super accurate, you realize that your scans of the entire blighted area are inaccurate.
Readings prove inconsistent. Advise rogue trader to avoid potential landing site. However, this unit proposes investigation.
Acknowledged, Skatari. Now then, is there any safe area we should land without issue?
Grant and Urizen, putting your heads together, you think you found a decent spot. Despite the entire... Or not,
Gradius.
Gradius. Brain, sorry, GR names. Yeah, Grant fucking walks into the bridge. No, okay.
Raw.
Where am I? And then a warp hole.
Krieger just walks into the bridge, gas mask and everything. He looks really confused. No, all right.
I'm on the wrong ship, aren't I?
Yes, he is.
All right.
So,
Cool.
Gradius, you and Urizen kind of put your heads together, and through Urizen's knowledge of, just how to land a shuttle, and Gradius, with your knowledge of reading maps and aerial surveillance, you managed to find a small clearing where you guys could probably land both your lander, which let me get the name of it, because you guys have two ships, one which carries your land vehicle and one which just carries you guys. So you guys have aboard your ship 2 Arvis lighters, which are basically military transport ships. They're small, but they have a fairly high carrying capacity. One of them carries your miniature, it's not full-sized, Rhino ground vehicle, which you will be able to use to traverse the planet, and planets with inhospitable terrain, and one of them will carry you down to the surface. I'll put pictures of your vehicles in, I'm gonna put them in the cargo hold.
I can't drive.
Gradius can drive.
I can't drive.
Yeah, the lighter is basically a flying brick, with good carry capacity.
Yeah, here's the Arvis lighters. They're much less pretty than the Aquila shuttles, but they'll get the job done.
Side note about Gradius: on his downtime, he likes to provide maintenance on the vehicles.
Like any good tech priest.
Lord Captain, if I may.
You may speak.
This planet is supposedly, according to our information, inhabited by lizard folk, correct?
Yes.
It would seem so. A primitive species that has not yet been fully catalogued by the Imperial Science Divisions.
Right. I have a feeling that this sort of field here isn't exactly their doing. I believe it has something to do with the ship that you have found.
I agree with your assessment, but until we get a better look at what these lizard folk are like, we cannot rule out the possibility they are in possession of advanced technology. Technology which, by no means, is heretical and should be confiscated and dismantled post-haste.
I agree, Lord Captain.
Pending official cataloging, of course. Urizen, have you identified a proper landing site for our shuttles?
Sorry, I'm eating. Yes, sir.
Excellent. Is there any other business we should attend to before we begin landing procedures? Speak now.
Would Gradius have like a report on potential remaining rebel forces on the ship?
Oh, from the whole conspiracy theory?
Yeah.
During your warp journey, yes. You and Abril probably put your heads together at some point and smoked out the rest of the people who'd heard of the... I wouldn't call it heresy, it's kind of heresy. The people who had heard of the mutiny and who were suspected to potentially still be harboring anti-Clovis ideals.
Sympathizers.
Hold on,
Yes.
Avril?
Oh yeah,
Avril?
Avril?
Not
The dead guy?
Avril. Not Avril. The gun captain.
Verdant.
Verdant.
I was very confused. I was like, when did he come back to
Oh
life?
yes, he's come back to life actually.
He's
And
come
he's-
back to life.
secretly,
and
secretly, he's
plotting.
plotting aboard your ship. He's all like, "How am I gonna kill Clovis?" No.
We're getting all sorts of strange cameos aboard my ship.
Yeah, your ship
Yeah.
has a whole bunch of people. It's had Grant. It's had like a Krieger. Yeah, Gradius, you've heard of like a Krieger who appeared as a warp apparition. But that was quickly dispelled.
Clovis.
I have
Was on this
Probably a
ship
Gellerfield fluctuation.
Mhm.
I half expect to walk in. I honestly, I'm half expecting to open the linens closet and I just see Tony Shalhoub in there in a clown costume.
Lord Captain, all signs of potential mutiny has been eradicated on the known levels.
Ah, excellent. Most fortuitous, considering the circumstances of our voyage.
Mm-hmm.
Any other news?
Since Mechanicus are very adept at lying by omission, those that we killed are basically being recycled into ration paste for other Skitarii.
Yeah, probably either ration paste or for the ones whose bodies weren't completely, eviscerated, they've been repurposed into servitors.
Mm-hmm. So,
No significant loss in skilled labor aboard the vessel, then?
no. Often lower level maintenance workers, easily replaceable, especially by servitors.
Noted. Well then, I see no reason why we stay aboard the ship any longer. Captain Verdant,
Yes, sir.
you have control of the bridge while I'm off station. I expect you to keep my ship running and in orbit until my return.
We will, sir. We'll be sending a Vox relay down with you.
Excellent. Maintain constant communication, and if any situation that may require my personal attention arises, inform me post-haste.
Of course, sir. I'll see to it that everything stays operational and in order.
And another thing, ensure that the astropathic choir is in good condition and good health.
We've made sure that all of them saw proper Medicae efforts after the incident. Most of them have recovered and are back at full strength, though some ours who were in their strange psychic coma a little longer are still recovering in the Medicae bay. I'll keep you updated if any other incidents occur.
Excellent. Urizen,
Yes, sir.
I assume you're familiar with flying the shuttles aboard this vessel?
Yeah.
I expect you to take me down to the planet's surface at your earliest convenience.
Let me just put some systems on auto and then we can go.
Understood. Master Vandergrim, Gradius, with me.
Matthias, who took his mask off a little bit, kind of like grins in a way that makes him almost look a little bit giddy. Understood, Lord Captain.
Excellent. Let us descend upon this planet and bring forth the Emperor's enlightenment, or, Emperor forbid, his punishment. Let us see what is in store for this little Frastivia.
Alright, so what are you all checking out first? The ship or the strange blighted area with the giant fucking tree?
I'm weighing more towards the tree. What do you guys think?
I kind of want to look at the ship first, but I'm down to do the tree.
Because, I could go either or at this point, because the tree looks pretty wonky, but also the ship might be the more immediate problem.
Yeah, I want to take a look at the ship because I feel like that could clue us in on some things that might be happening at the tray. So I want to check out. I definitely want to check out the ship first.
I'm more leaning towards the tree because it'll at least get us an idea of what to expect of the inhabitants before we go to the ship.
That's also a good point, but also there might be inhabitants of the planet near the ship.
Maybe inhabitants of the ship. Yeah, there might be.
There might be locals around the ship and the tree, or the locals might stay away from one or the other. So,
according to the information we have, they live in a hunter-gatherer society. They have primitive weaponry. I want to see if I can identify the type of ship it is, or like what species it uses.
You can
first.
probably identify it if you get closer. It should be pretty obvious to both you and Clovis the second you get down there. It's just trying to identify the exact type of ship from orbit is just difficult.
Yeah. You need to see it with your own two eyeballs. And it also says that there are no life signs gathered around a tree. So, even if... So yeah, there's nobody down there at the tree, so...
Alright then.
Yeah, let's go to the ship. We good with the ship?
The key does say that the fourth key should be in an ancient structure that sits in a deep, dark jungle. The tree might be said ancient structure, so I'd rather go to the ship first.
Just to knock it off, because the ship might have crashed recently.
Yeah, I mean, with all the growth that was said to be there, it might have been here for a while, but I just want to, I want to save the tree for last. Yeah, I want to knock the ship off first, because it seems like, the least important thing, and I want to make sure we can hit both of these spots pretty handily, I guess.
All right, let's hit up the ship.
Woohoo!
All right. So, you quickly are able to actually Urizen. Let me check which piloting skill this is. I'm sure you have it.
If it involves space or air vehicles, I have it.
I believe it's an air vehicle, but I'm just checking so that you roll with the right modifiers.
Because it is like an orbital shuttle, so it's like it should be both space and air.
And air, yes. Pilot pistol weapons training.
In both spacecraft and flyers, so it doesn't really matter.
Why does it go from pistol weapon here to pistol weapon training? Oh, it's because I'm in talents and not skills. I'm smart. Sorry, I'm using the physical book. So, because I have all the other stuff pulled up on my computer, just,
Yeah.
Pilot, advanced, personal flyer, spacecraft. Do you have flyers? Pam?
I was washing my hands, yes I do.
Okay, roll me a piloting flyers test to land safely on the planet surface.
So that will be agility plus 10, and my agility is 70, so I need to roll an 80, and I can do that.
80 or lower. Should be fucking easy.
Watch the
Don't crash the ship.
99.
Don't crash the ship.
Oh
my fucking god.
Yay.
Alright, Clovis.
We don't even fucking notice that we're on the planet.
I was gonna say, Clovis, you've had some smooth landings as an Inquisitor. You know, you and your old boss had some of the best pilots the Imperium has to offer, fly and, jockey you around. But this is something else. First thing, not only is the landing smooth, but it's quick. You get down there long before the other pilots. I don't know if this has a Matthias token or if it has a Ron token, but everyone go to slide 7. Here's your little camp, stationed roughly in between the two POIs.
This
isn't a super large planet, but, and the vehicle is pretty fast. You can get to each POI, not within the same day, but fairly quickly. So, here's your camp, you have your 2 fat fucking chips, and here's your tank. It's not really, it's kind of a tank. I'm using a tank token because that's what I have.
I can drive that.
You can drive that. So you get down to the planet's surface, immediately, you guys, your house troopers begin doing grunt work, setting up fortifications around your ships, starting to gather some food just so that they can have, you can have fresh provisions, they locate a source of fresh water, all of that. Clovis, you oversee this lightly for about the first hour of work, but all things go fairly smoothly. You don't get attacked by any local wildlife, though you do see a lot of bugs and birds flitting around, including these, very large dragonflies. That continuously, come and basically, I wouldn't call them intelligent, but they appear to be investigating you. They're all flying towards you, and overall just being a general nuisance.
I do not like that in the
Can I give a
slightest.
Tam fact?
Yes.
Let's hear a Tam
Oh.
fact.
So there's a period of time in the Earth's history where there was giant fucking bugs. And one of the main reasons for the fact that there was giant bugs is because insects and like invertebrates in general tend to breathe more through their skin, at least in some capacity. And the Earth had a higher oxygen content. So my first thought is that this planet has a very high oxygen content, which means we shouldn't light stuff on fire because then it's going to burn.
You can also, that's 100% correct. And part of the reason why you can tell that is also the vast amount of plant life that's recycling CO2 and oxygen, along with the vast amount of water. Phytoplankton produce a lot of oxygen, so you're 100% correct. This is an incredibly oxygenated planet.
Yep.
In addition, as you're looking at the dragonfly wings, you look at them and they seem very beautiful. You think, if this planet was easy to get to and wasn't so far away, you could maybe, get these wings and sell them to people who make art. This is considered a vivid accessory resource with all of these fat fucking dragonflies.
Oh, huzzah.
Alune.
Excellent.
Warhammer doesn't have starving artists. Happy
Yes,
for
well,
them.
No, there's tons of starting artists.
Damn.
Most of them are cultists.
Gradius is actually very curious of how much of a potential threat these dragonflies could be. So, is there a chance where one of them gets really, really close and I can just kill it?
Yeah, it gets close to you, and you just take a fist, 2 hands, and you smash it in between your fists. It explodes into blood and guts. They are not threatening, they're just curious.
And then I look at my palms, I go, the insides are not so corrosive or acidic. As I take like my gut-soaked hands, and I just basically prod the body, and then from there I just go, alrighty. I don't bother to actually clean my cloak or anything like that.
Matthews, this entire time, he put his mask back on. You can tell that he's been like religiously staring at this one, eye tracking it perfectly, like tapping one metal finger against his metal arm, observing.
Oh yeah,
obsessively.
This is totally isn't Gradius letting out his pent-up aggression, knowing that he's an AI.
So Gradius, you smash dragonflies.
Yes, I smashed a few.
You do
of
have
them,
a couple of other Skitari with you to do heavy lifting, which are the red tokens.
Oh yes, certainly. I would probably have a couple at least men under, Skitari under my control.
Yeah, so you have a couple of Skitari with you too, who you are commanding in between smashing any dragonflies that get too close to you.
So I turn to Clovis. I go, your next course of action, Rogue Assault. First. Oh, sorry, not first. Rogue Trader.
I want an operational update on this camp. Are we sufficiently fortified from any sort of creature or local native?
I turn to the closest, like a captain or a lieutenant who's in charge here.
One of your Skitari basically gives you a very, slight nod, Gradius. Yes. All units believe that this camp is currently sustainable. Should we find any... And you hear, a pause. Primitive threats. In addition, the Skitari kind of basically reaches into, basically opens, a compartment in his arm, takes out a key, and holds it out to you, Gradius. For you, Commander. For the... You hear, basically a slew of techno jargon. Rhino.
So can he do, a thing where he basically, shoots it like a cannon, and I just catch it?
Yes.
Cool.
You also, Clovis, you see the radio operator basically take out a data slate and hand it to you. We have a decent map of the current area, sir, and the location of the notable landmarks and the ruins of the ship should be marked on here. As long as you have decent spatial awareness, you should have no problem getting around.
Oh, that's.
Excellent. This will be
Rogue-
quite helpful.
Rogue Trader, this unit has recognized that you showed a keen interest in the dragonfly wings. Would you like me to command the Skitarii to harvest them?
That will not be necessary. We can always come back to that for later, but for now, I am eager to investigate the wrecked Xenos ship.
Understood. As
Gradius.
Oh, sorry.
Gradius, I want you to get Master Urzin and Master Vandergrim. Tell them that we are leaving in 10.
Understood.
Matthias is standing right next to you.
We're leaving in 10 minutes.
Yes, I heard. Thank you.
And then
A giant arrow pointing to Matthias. He's incredibly silent and stealthy. He's been standing next to Clovis this entire time, and Clovis hasn't noticed.
Gradius approaches Urzin. Voidsman.
Yes, sir.
We are so Rogue Trader wants us to leave in 10 minutes.
Okay.
And then from there, Gradius walks away.
Urzin, you're kind of looking around. This is the freshest air you've breathed in your entire life. Or at least as far as you can remember. This is your first time being planet-side in, like, all of your memory. Yeah, basically as far back as you remember. Since you've been with Abril. You've kind of forgot what fresh air tasted like. You feel a little strange.
He didn't let me out of the ship.
Yeah, like I said, you've kind of forgotten what fresh air tastes like. It's kind of strange. But, you know, nice. Oh, and the dirt under your hooves instead of hard metal is definitely preferable. You've already kind of noticed.
Get used to this.
So, to navigate to the Xenos ship, I would like one of you, and I do mean one of you, at first, to make me either a survival or navigation surface check. Either will work.
Will I also have to roll a driving test?
You'll have to roll the driving test, Gradius. Basically, someone else is going to be your co-pilot.
Navigation.
Alright. As Gradius stands at the door, he's going to look over at Ig, he's going to go, who is riding shotgun?
I don't have. I'm not good at either of those skills, so you cannot. Which is funny. So, but you cannot count on Matthias in this situation.
I'm not exactly doing so hot in the survival navigation department either.
Yeah.
But I am going to take the top hatch turret.
What stat is navigation? Or not navigation, survival? Whatever it's called.
Survival is an advanced skill in intelligence.
Ah! Okay.
Do any of us have this?
I haven't
Either of these?
trained.
You have it trained? Oh, then you can use it.
Something.
Yeah, that
Then
works.
you're the only one who can use it, Tam.
You're the only one who knows
Okay.
survival.
What's my intelligence? 55. Okay.
Urzin, you are riding shotgun.
Let's see if I
Yeah.
can do this. I'm gonna probably... Can I do this? No, I cannot do this.
Okay. So...
Wait, how much did you need?
Try.
Oh, that's a 93. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
That's a
So,
93.
Urzin, you're kind of, you know...
Not used to this.
You've navigated planet-side before, but it was more from an aerial view, think of it. So you've navigated trying to find a landing spot, but you're less experienced when you're driving in a land vehicle. So you guys eventually, you know, you drive around for a bit. Gradius, by the way, please roll me a ground vehicle driving test to make sure you don't crash the car. Plus 10, please.
Crash the car.
Crash the car.
Crash the car.
Alrighty.
Does that crash the car, or does that not crash the car?
Well, driving ground vehicle,
Add an
I
additional
fail.
plus 10 to your DC.
Yep.
Oh.
I fail. I will spend a...
Plus 10?
Fate point for a plus 10.
for a +10.
Actually, Clovis,
I would still fail.
how close are you, Will?
I am 13 off.
Okay.
My agility is a 36. I rolled a 49.
But you have a +10 because I said add a +10, so you're
That's
not
still
that
off.
far off.
So
yeah,
I'm
that's
still
a
3 off.
3 off.
Yeah, you're 3 off. But Diego.
I have exceptional leader.
Yep.
That's a flat plus 10% to any test I decide.
So, if you would like-
10%.
Cool. So, as you know, you're driving. Clovis, you're kind of looking out the top hatch because you're manning the turret. And you basically see that there's a massive ditch, which you know from Gradius's point of view he can't see.
I'm just gonna start banging the top of the hull of the Rhino. Just like a dunk dunk dunk. Oi!
Grady stops.
Move around, there's a ditch in the road.
Understood. And then from there, I begin to do like a flat, like a hard 90-degree turn, and then start curving around.
Alrighty. You do not crash the vehicle. However, you realize after about good hour and a half, you think to yourself, looking at the distance on the map, Urzin, we should be here by now. But instead, you do find something. You just don't find exactly what you were looking for. As you basically keep driving, you end up finding what appears to be like... Hold on, let me check which continent you're on. You find what appears to be a giant, like, cave mouth. Canyon system leading into a giant cave mouth. You've stumbled upon what looks to be the entrance to a massive cave system. Not the Xenos ship, but another landmark to add to the map.
Noted.
I'm adding that to the planet profile. You found the last landmark for this area.
Yay.
Cool.
Interesting.
Urzin, looking at where this is, you do notice some discrepancy that looks like it was probably the canyon. You realize you're about a mile or two to the southeast of where you're trying to be. You were close, just not quite on the mark, and from finding this cave system, even though you guys took a little bit of an unexpected detour, you managed to find your way to the crashed ship. Clovis and Matthias.
Woo.
As you approach it, you see a Eldari/Drukari headlock smashed straight into the ground.
Ooh.
Oof.
What does that mean?
I will put what a picture of what a hemlock looks like. It's a 1.2 kilometer long frigate.
Oh, never mind. That's not what I thought. Not the plant.
It's named after the plant. I am putting this in Game General. You basically see a giant frigate, the entire frontal cannon basically bored into the ground, not smoking anymore, completely totaled. The beautiful normal artistry you'd see on Eldari wings, just overgrown and corroded. It's ruined. There's no way anyone was getting this off the planet. It also appears abandoned. Other than normal wildlife, there doesn't appear to be any signs of the Xenos who crashed here still being here.
Ah, but the Eldari are known for their tricks. This could... Just because we can't see them, doesn't mean they're not there. Their trickery, elvish ways mean they are one with the environment at any given time, so... Clovis is just basically giving it a very sus look. Everyone be on alert. Eldari may be on the field.
Feel free to roll me either awareness or scrutiny to see if there are any Eldar hiding nearby.
Sick.
Yes? Thank you, Father.
Scrutiny and awareness. Both of those are exactly the
That
same.
appears to be a cheeseburger.
Nice.
Yay.
I said chicken stars.
Oh, it's a cheeseburger.
Matthews can't fucking see today.
Apparently I didn't.
He's too distracted
Fine.
with his
Appreciate that, yeah.
insanity and the feeling of bugs
no,
under his
yes,
skin.
I do. Over there. Yeah, Matthias is too giddy looking at all the wildlife to notice any actual threats.
He's just like, ooh, I like, oh my god, it's been so long
Yes,
since
Tam?
I've seen an Eldari ship. Wow. That's
Is
him.
it a cheeseburger with just ketchup?
How'd you know?
It's almost like we go to Carl's Jr. once a week when you were going
You
to
mean
school.
Wendy's?
Or Wendy's. Yeah. same
Yeah.
difference. I'm
Matthews
assuming
is
you would get the same thing no matter where you went.
Matthews is just too excited to be planet side. He's just like, ooh boy, I get to look at Xenos things again. Oh boy, I get to stop sitting at my desk and doing paperwork. Oh boy, he's
So
having
the
a
other
great
two of you
time.
like to roll.
What are we
I
rolling for?
Perception.
rolled
Either scrutiny or
a
awareness.
to find
Scrutiny or
hidden
awareness?
Eldari.
Okay. Awareness is perception, that'd be 50. Scrutiny is not
Also
something I
perception.
have. Awareness it is.
I rolled a 41 on a 40.
Oh.
Oh.
Same! That is supposed to be
Balloon.
Oh.
1 over.
I have a, let's see. Ah, shit. Ah, man, I totally spaced this out. Can I, like, logic, like, how they would have conducted their behavior, for a crash site landing?
Sure, it may not be 100% accurate to Eldari protocol, but you could get a general sense, probably.
I'm
Looking
thinking,
at how the ship crashed.
Yeah, because I want to think of it from, like, a soldier's point, or a soldier's perspective.
Yeah, you could totally do that. Roll me logic instead.
I completely fucking fail.
The dice bot hates us.
The dice bot hates us.
We're getting
guys,
the bad
for
rolls
real.
out the way, guys. Don't worry.
True.
Yeah.
So, Gradius, you look at this and you realize, first of all, it's completely foobarred. There's no way in hell anyone's gonna try and repair this. Hell, if you didn't know better from looking at the wings, you'd assume this got shot completely out of the sky. But looking at it, it doesn't appear to have any hull damage other than what it sustained during the fall, which you think is a little odd. Why would this ship have crashed? Whatever happened to it, you assume that probably a good chunk of the crew straight up died off impact. And as for the rest of them, you've never really seen a planetside crash this bad before. So you're not quite aware of what protocol would be.
Right. Well, I don't think so. Well, I think of how mechanics would react, but I have no clue how Skitarii would react in this scenario. Expeditionary Force?
Potentially. Do you see them?
None of you see any Eldar.
Nothing on this unit's sensors.
Proceed with
I do not
caution.
see him. Understood.
If there are survivors, they must be dealt with.
Gradius is going to push like a switch, which basically activates the turret that Clovis is on. Alrighty then.
Matthews doesn't
Alright.
say that.
I
Matthews
drive
doesn't
slowly.
say that. That's what he thinks. He goes, "Yay!" in his head.
So, you drive slowly up to the crash site. We're like right next to it at this point, and I don't have a map for this area. But you basically park right by one of the massive wings, sweeping wings. So, this ship is sticking like about, I don't know, 0.8 kilometers at an angle up in the air, and the wings sweep about 0.1 kilometers out in either direction. It's a big ship. Like, a long distance, deep void voyage ship. And from the looks of it, now that you're closer, Gradius, you immediately spot the problem.
Ooh.
The engine is half detached. It looks like what happened to this ship is it suffered a critical systems failure of its engine, causing it to fall out of the sky, and, since it was probably in orbit, get pulled back onto the planet. Effectively, this thing fell out of the sky from low planet orbit.
Okay.
Can
There
we
isn't.
assume that it in fact was not, the engine was not pulled off by a large creature? Can I
Roll
safely assume that?
roll me tech use.
Fuck. Okay. What is my tech usability?
Would I be able to make that roll as well, or is that only
Yeah,
what
well.
Urzen can do?
You can totally do that, Will.
I'm gonna use
Hey,
my
can you
data
help me?
tool for this as well.
All right.
I did it!
Nice.
14 out of 50.
Hell yeah.
Oh yeah, we
Will
both
did it
fucking
better.
do it.
Both of you basically take 2 looks at it and go, no, this looks like it was just, like, probably nearing the end of a deep void run. Probably really already kind of having system issues, maybe when they departed. It looks like just a typical systems failure.
Okay.
No, or maybe internal sabotage, but nothing external.
So do not need to worry about the giant dinosaurs. Got it. Cool.
The machine spirit has punished the unworthy.
That is a reassuring thought. Ow. Sorry. There we go. Shall we disembark and investigate, or do you want to bring us in closer?
I'm going to say, disembark.
Everyone, we proceed on foot. I want to make sure there's nothing alive in that ship that might put a shuriken in my back.
Understood, Lord Captain.
Alright, so as you get closer to the ship, you quickly realize something very strange now that you're actually traversing the terrain on foot. It looks like, and though this is a little maybe outdated, someone made a giant clearing around the ship, as if not to disembark it, but land another similar-sized ship next to the first crashed one. Maybe something smaller, maybe just a fleet of landers, but it looks like someone prepared this area for, say, an evacuation operation. The closer you get, the clearer everything gets, until you realize that there's actually basically a very large clearing around on one side. So on one side, there's like a fairly large, giant, patch of land where trees have been cut down, plants foliage has been cleared. It's basically been like industrially prepared.
That is not very... Alright, that is a bit concerning. On the other hand, somewhat reassuring, maybe there's no one around. In which case, we don't have to expend any munitions. Save them for something more worthwhile.
Agreed.
Skatari, can you... Oh, keep going. Continue.
Matthias and Clovis, roll me Forbidden Lore Xenos.
Okay.
Clovis, I'd say with a +10, since you have more specialty in Xenos ships.
I also have Xenos.
Then you can roll as well, Tam.
Yay!
24!
I make that as well. Woohoo! I had to beat a 43.
I do not.
I had to beat a 50.
Clovis and Matthias. As you're kind of getting closer and can identify this is certainly a hemlock pattern, you both know from Clovis, you from firsthand experience, but Matthias, you from textbooks and just knowledge from your life as a Xenos hunter, that even for Eldar standards, hemlock crews are tiny. They're barely enough to keep the ship running even in combat, so it's likely that you normally would envision a ship like this having a massive crew, thousands upon thousands, but in reality, the number of Eldar that were actually probably on this ship was very, very low.
That matters because, right?
It gives us a scale of the potential threat.
Got it. Cool.
How small would these crews typically be?
You don't have an exact number, but under half of a typical Imperial ship this size.
Okay. That's still a lot.
Like, way under half.
That's still a lot.
The smallest ships would have like a crew of a few dozen, so...
Oh, if he does. Oh.
But like larger ships would possibly be like a couple hundred. Eldar are very few in number. That's the thing.
Exactly.
So-
But the problem is that they make up for the lack of quantity with extremely high quality. Like
Yeah, their ships are insanely high powered and high maneuverability, high armor, etc. compared to Imperial ships.
yeah.
They're leagues above them in technology, but they have ghost crews effectively.
Yeah, but that could be pretty dangerous if you're not prepared.
Yeah.
But at any point in Grace's history, has he ever crossed swords with Eldari or Eldar in general?
Call it high or low.
I'm gonna say low.
You have once. It
Oh.
was a fairly small scuffle, all things considered, mostly just getting them out of Imperial territory, and no boarding actions were launched. In fact, the second your boarding shuttles were launched towards the ship, they fled fairly quickly. However, yeah, and you know from first-hand experience the amount of damage even just a small scuffle with an Eldar ship can leave on an Imperial vessel. You very distinctly remember that battle just because of how many Skitarii and tech priests were overworked for days after getting the ship back in fully operational and peak condition.
Okay, so I have a sense of how much of a threat they are. Good. Okay.
At least in space combat, a lot.
Okay, coolio.
Good to know. So, shall we continue and press forward, see what's what?
Let's go find out what.
Of course.
At the very least, once we finish securing this site, we can mark it for retrieval.
Indeed.
Agreed.
Any artifacts of an Eldari persuasion are always in high demand from the Inquisition.
What about the
Alright.
same for Imperium High Society?
Do you think I'm going to... Do you honestly think I'm going to turn around and just sell this on the grey market?
Merely testing you, sir.
Good. It's been a while since someone tried that. Don't do it again.
Alright. So you all eventually find a way to get into the ship itself. And you quickly realize there's really not much here. Other than the hull and a couple of ship components that were left behind, nothing. I mean, weapons have been removed from the outside. The signature Eldari cloaking field is missing when you go to check for where you would think it might be. The engine itself that was totaled is basically the only real Eldari technology that's left on the ship. Everything else is fairly standard or the Eldari equivalent of Imperial. Like I said, the weapons have been stripped, the field has been stripped, you know, the Eldari pulsar cannon is no longer on the front, nor the Lancer. All the things that you would expect of an Eldari ship, other than the Eldar solar sails, which are still sitting, of course, on the wings, has been stripped off the ship and removed. It also seems lifeless, just an empty space hulk.
Huh. Concerning, but at the very least, the solar sails can always be marked for retrieval and study.
It does bother me that many of the components are missing. That either implies that, one, the species on this planet have taken it, but also, that implies that, two, they're smart enough to know what they do. Or another thing, there are Eldari that survived and are holding on to their technology. Which bothers me even more!
Considering that the landing outside the ship is large enough to house another shuttle, my best guess is that they recovered both the crew and vital components.
That means they must be somewhere on the planet still.
How long ago has the ship been here?
Roll me
Would I be
logic.
able- Oh, okay.
Anyone can
Yeah.
roll this.
Let's try and figure out how long it's been here. That's
only
just
have
a
a-
550.
Basic in logic, so y'all can do it.
Oh yeah, no, that's a
What
91.
is logic?
Oh,
Basic,
That's
yeah.
intelligence.
No, I was trying to figure out if it was basic or trained for me.
Smart.
Mine's basic.
I'll
I
even
have to
roll
roll
on a basic
21 or
scale.
lower.
I
I'll
have
still
logic-
roll.
I know.
I have logic trained.
I did not make that. I don't have logic trained. I don't think I get to
22,
choose
Will, does that succeed?
logic.
Oh, I didn't roll a 22.
Yeah, no.
Oh.
Yeah, no.
Yep.
We don't know.
We don't know.
He had no clue.
You all kind of inspect the ship. You know, you guys make a couple rounds. You can guesstimate probably a year or two, maybe. An exact time frame, because you don't know too much about the plant's flora and fauna, the rate at which it grows, everything else. Meh. Your best guess is made from the rusting condition of the metal because it would have been exposed to weathering, and like I said, looking at that, 1 to 2 years, probably. Terran years, not like, you know, any other planet years.
Oof. So, let's just... No point in salvaging this, there's nothing else of note. Perhaps we should take our leave and mark this site for retrieval.
Indeed. Discovering this does mean we'll have to be a bit more cautious moving forward.
Obviously, we must be careful. Shall we investigate the secondary site of interest, that large tree?
Yes.
Arisen, Gradius, is there anything else you'd like to investigate from this area?
Is there?
That's up to you guys. Is there anything you'd like to check out?
No,
No?
nothing comes.
So I'm
Wait,
just
can I have access? Do I know? Bleh. Would the ship's controls be accessible?
Call it high or low because it crashed nose first.
I?
So you kind of crawl awkwardly downwards. You know, it takes... You're agile enough that it's not too much of a problem. You eventually scoot your way into where you know the piloting area would be, and it's not completely totaled. It's mostly totaled, but there's still a set of ship controls and maybe a console that maybe, just maybe, if you had Gradius's help, you could boot up.
Hey, Grash.
Gradius is so basically just kind of like how thick, how dense are the walls, Alune?
Fairly thick. This is a long cruising void ship.
Can I Kool-Aid Man
microbeads are a
through a
thing.
wall?
You kind of Kool-Aid Man through a second door into this area.
Yes, Arisen?
I know how to use machines, not how they work. Can I get some help here?
Alright then. I approach.
Alrighty, this ship has been without power for a really long time. Gradius, roll me tech use to jumpstart this motherfucker so that you can open the console.
Oh hey! My Tesla coils will come in handy.
Yeah, roll me plus 20 with your Tesla coils.
Alrighty then.
Because you do have those. Holy shit! Gradius, you kind of plug yourself into a port. It's not really designed for your mechadendrites, etc. You find a way to plug yourself in, you know, basically buzz your Tesla coils, and you boot it up, and Urizen, you hear the ship hum to life. Matthias and Clovis, as you're kind of conversing outside, you see ship lights turn on. You see blinkers basically blink to life, die out fairly quickly, but the console hums to life, and a couple of screens turn on. It's all in Eldar.
My little control thing!
This low-key kind of scares Matthias, and he immediately pulls out his gun and realizes, oh. Like he audibly like jumps. He just jumps and goes,
Translating
oh.
tablet.
Yeah, okay, so it's rudimentary and doesn't have a lot of Eldari jargon in it, which a lot of this is, but you're able to get an okay sense. You basically... You're able to find where the navigation tab is, so you can see where they were where the navigation was charted to, but that's about it. The rest of it's just still completely incomprehensible to you. It's a whole bunch of spacefaring language that you just don't have on your, universal dictionary, because it's not something you need to really communicate.
Mm-hmm.
But you open up the navigation tab,
Eh.
and you see that this ship was about to actually head back into... The best way to put it is, you don't fucking know where. You see what appears to be a marked spot in the middle of butt-fuck nowhere.
Let's save that for later.
Just...
Screenshot. Compare
Yeah,
it to
you
the maps
basically take
later.
your data slate out and you take a picture. It's probably about 2 days at cruising speed in real space from here, so they were pretty close to their destination. Your best guess is they stopped here maybe to get food or resupply before they went to their final destination. Where that final destination was, given it's in the middle of, according to this star map, literally nowhere, as in there's nothing nearby, no solar systems, planets, asteroids, it's just in nothing land. You don't know why they were going there.
Mm-hmm.
Just that they were.
Mm-hmm.
However, roll me Forbidden Lore Xenos.
On it.
Let me see if I can also do Forbidden Lore Xenos.
Yeah, Clovis, at this point, now when you saw the ship hum to life, you could sense some fucky-wucky was going on. At this point, you would have made it in.
Hey,
And I also roll.
Yes, you
I
all can
touched
roll.
something I wasn't supposed to touch.
I also fail.
Okay, so you all are kind of puzzling at this, and you guys are, kind of thinking, and... you're wondering maybe they were meeting up with another ship.
That's what my
potentially
thought was. My thought was
Yeah.
that was a rendezvous.
Yeah, your best guess is that this was a rendezvous. Though you don't have any more information, and you can't know for sure, but your best guess, maybe a rendezvous with another Eldari ship. Given that this really is in the middle of nowhere.
Concerning.
Incredibly.
Well then, anything else you can glean from this data bank base?
Balloon.
Mm-hmm.
Gradius has the talent called Total Recall. So can I basically catalog all of this imagery and then reconstruct it back on the ship?
Yeah, 100%. So you basically look at all of this, and this isn't any super notable technology. It's a simple navigation system like you would see in basically any ship. You do notice that all the sensors appear as offline, though. Or as in all the sensor screen, blank. Nothing, 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 nothing. So you can puzzle out now that the sensors are either completely totaled or were removed. But, Gradius, you basically look at the star map, and it's basically the same as the one you have. Everything around here from Abral's map that you stole from his corpse is correct, at least according to the Eldari charts as well. They line up with your total recall.
Alrighty.
And you also look at the, you basically see where, the rest of the course, and you'll be able to easily plot where they were going on a star map when you get back to the ship.
Tesla coils for the win, baby.
Nice.
Is there any, mysterious files that I could sneakily download? That could come in useful later?
You find a tab that, you realize is called Orders. You open it up, and using your dictionary, you're just thinking to yourself, I can't fucking make sense of any of this. There's all sorts of military jargon, all sorts of shenanigans. You know that was definitely their final destination, reading through the Orders tab, but gleaning why is just encoded in all sorts of phrases that are just not common knowledge. You could maybe ask someone who knew more about the Eldar when you get back, or up on the ship about it, perhaps.
And I say the phrases? I might know something.
Yeah, you look at the phrases, and Clovis, your heart immediately sinks, and you kind of have an oh shit moment.
Oh,
This
shit.
jargon isn't typical of Craftworld Eldari. These are Drukari military phrases. This is a Drukari ship.
Are you
This-
okay, sir?
We're dealing with Drukari. Interesting, which brings forth a number of questions. Why would the Drukari salvage their own ship? They leave their own to die when they're not strong enough to survive on their own. What are Drukari doing this deep in the rifts of Hecaton? But the ship on the outside looks just like any other Craftworld vessel. So are we dealing with a hijack, or could it possibly be Inari, a mixed race crew? These are questions that, unfortunately, may have a deadly answer. I advise we vacate ourselves from the area post-haste. Master Vandergrim,
Yes, Lord Captain.
do you have experience fighting Drukari?
Me thinking in brain, Elun probably yes?
You've come across them once or twice.
I do, Lord Captain.
Good. Then we have better chances. As it stands, there's only 4 of us and a small camp of troopers. But considering that this ship can house a rather sizable crew, I'd say we stay on this planet for as little time as possible.
I agree.
Everyone back to the Rhino, now. Urzen, finish up what you're doing and make sure you grab anything of value.
On it.
All right.
Elune, what's the value?
You download the orders and the navigation file because you want to be able to cross-reference the star maps when you get back to your own ship. That being said, other than that, there's very little that's super interesting. Sure, the navigation system, it was fun to tinker around with and see how it works, but you quickly realize, yeah, it's fairly standard issue. I mean, it's just a bunch of screens. The fact that the sensors aren't here basically means that it's not, it's not super worth salvaging much. Though, you do mark the solar sails to be taken to be put in your cargo hold.
Fun.
Alright. So, you guys basically take, you load it back into the Rhino, and Gradius, I'm not going to make you roll, since you're basically just, either of you roll, because you're just going back the way you came. You get back to the camp, and you see the 2 Skitari at the front, basically, the Skitari at the front basically salute you, Clovis. Greetings, Lord Trader Entity. While you were away, we saw unidentified reptilian species very close nearby.
Those would be the locals we were informed of. How
No,
close were they to
rogue
camp?
trader entity. It was a massive reptilian entity. You see him basically take out a data slate and show you a picture. I'm going to put this in GM refs.
Oh god, is it a giant snake?
I was going to say, it's Godzilla!
No.
How
He
many
puts a
limbs
picture-
does it have?
Please.
He
have
puts a
it be
picture
giant snake
of
that
this.
looks-
Soon as it pops up, we're waiting.
I'm putting the caption on it.
Ooh.
Oh! Dinosaur. Dragon? Scary.
You've got 2 little nubs.
You got 2 little nubs.
I do really like the multicolor pattern scale it's got going on.
Yeah. So they basically show you a picture of that. That is to scale. So like the wagon wheel and barrel, etc. You see, so it's really
Holy
big.
shit.
That's very big. That's crazy.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh
No. No.
Its head would make for a nice trophy in the mechanics bay.
That it would. To the Rhino.
Elin, from looking at it, can Matthias tell if it's carnivorous or if it's a carnivore or herbivore?
That's a predator.
Ah, yeah, that's what I thought. I wanted to ask anyway.
That's a big man. That's a big man predator.
That's a big man predator, yeah.
I love this planet because I get to play Monster Hunter.
I love this. I love playing Monster Hunter. I've never played it. Matthew's kind of just like looking at like, oh. Well, this will be certainly very fun, I'm sure.
Were there any riders, or were they prowling on their own?
The Skitari, looks. It appeared to be heading towards large, unidentified tree.
Sounds
It also
like
came with a second.
it must be traveling
They
with
travel
its.
in pairs.
It must be traveling with its mate. And if we make course for the tree, we'll just be on an intercept course with it. Well, I'm not gonna let two giant lizards get in the way of my mission, so let's press onwards. We have a rhino. Eloon, I wanted to check, what exactly is the turret mounted onto the top of the rhino? Is it like one of those big storm bolters, or is it like a heavy flamer?
I believe it's a heavy bolter. Let me check.
Because I know what you posted in the image, but like I want to know like
It's a heavy gun of some sort. It's not a flamer. It's a turret. Let me check weaponry. Let me look at the stats for this thing. It's got a very high armor rating for obvious reasons. It has on top of it a heavy stubber,
good enough.
which fires 10 rounds per round, up to 1d10 plus 5 impact damage, penetration of 3, 200 clip.
That'll do. If we run into those damn things, we'll be able to make iguana bits.
Truly,
Because it kind of does look like a giant iguana.
it's
Some
a big
degree.
lizard.
Yep. Shall we press onwards to the tree?
Let's.
Yes, we shall.
Oh, I forgot to post the pictures of what this planet looks like on the surface. I'll do that now.
I'm imagining kind of like a jungle-y, fun.
Yeah, it's kind of like more a foresty jungle, but yeah.
Yeah.
Like a ZZ Haven.
Like a ZZ Haven, yeah.
Like a ZZ Haven, man. If only ZZ were here to see this, and if only Caddy were here to hold ZZ back from going off and getting stuck here.
Give me a week.
ZZ would just wander off in some random direction, not really paying attention.
ZZ would love this planet!
And Caddy would unfortunately have to walk behind with a mechadendrite around their waist like a leash. He's very okay with this, though.
Alright. So, you guys hop in the rhino, and you start setting off towards the tree. Since this is uncharted territory, Urzen, I'd like, once again, have you roll survival, and Gradius, please roll me a driving
Okay.
test to navigate this new terrain.
Alrighty.
Same plus 10 as before, since this is a standard issue Imperial vehicle.
I'm drifting this fucking tank.
I was gonna say, you're drifting this tank, dude, goddamn.
Okay!
Yay!
Good job, you
Nice.
two! Alright, so Urzen,
That is several degrees of success. Yes?
That
you
is.
swiftly are able to calculate a simple course that dodges around most potential, slowdowns. So you kind of avoid an area that looks like it's super muddy with water. You quickly are able to chart a way that skirts around kind of some more hilly, mountainous terrain. And you swiftly navigate towards the tree. But eventually you realize the jungle begins to almost change. The trees and the sparse undergrowth have grown thicker and more twisted as the jungle itself is trying to build a barrier to keep you from going towards the blighted tree at its center. The rhino, you quickly realize, Gradius, as the path you're going gets narrower and narrower, it won't be able to go any further. Its large size is just incompatible with the densely packed trees and foliage, and even with your superior driving skills, you realize very quickly you're asking to smash into a tree.
Lord Captain, this unit suggests disembarkment. vehicle more prone for malfunction due to environment.
Then we disembark. Come on.
Off we go.
Right, as you're all on foot, I'd like you to roll me awareness to make sure you do not run into or to hear or see any potential threats before they get to you.
Fuck the lizards.
Fuck the lizard.
That makes it.
That's a 30. That's a good awareness roll.
I also finally rolled good on awareness. Matthias can see.
That is not good.
Alrighty.
No one was
Everyone
lying
please
about
go to
this
slide
being bad.
8 and Skid replace that token with Matthias.
Yep. Boom.
I was about to say, when Gradius and Urzin got a 6 and a 2 on their respective tests, I just imagine a tank, like a fucking APC, hauling ass through the jungle, blaring Union Dixie.
Pretty much, that's what was happening. I put what the lizard folk look like in NPCs.
They're ugly! Purge them!
As you make your way through the jungle on foot, you eventually hear the sounds of approaching creatures. A group of lizard folk with 2 giant Komodo dragon-esque animals come out into a nearby clearing, conversing in hisses and harsh, raspy syllables. One of them, what you can assume is the leader, spots you, calling out in a harsh and vaguely familiar language. Urzin, from your time around Abril and his involvement in the cold trade, once again you coin this as a very broken and rudimentary form of Eldari, and you pull out the translator and you've memorized some basic conversation skills. I wouldn't say you speak the language, but you can understand what he's saying. You should be able to get your point across. You see the lizard folk all just draw their spears, their bows, begin to almost bristle with hostility, before the leader just kind of motions them to stand down. He looks at you all, stumbling over some words and phrases. You are not the armor of spines and have no pointy ears. Are you friends of the spiny ones? Or are you friends of us?
The what?
The spiny ones. You see him point vaguely in what you know is the direction of the ship. The ones that come from the things from the beyond.
As an update, what are they saying?
Are Eldar spiky?
Drukari are. And we are no friends of Drukari.
They're asking us if we're affiliated with them.
I'd personally eat a live shit from a Nurgling than call myself a friend of the Drukari.
Ha!
That's the answer I assumed, but you asked for an update.
Tell them that we are no friends of the Drukari.
Alone!
Yes?
Can we pass that along?
Alright, you pass the message along, and you see the leader kind of nod and basically hiss to his people the translation. You quickly get that the leader is the only one who speaks even just basic rudimentary Eldari. And you see him kind of nod. Good. They come here to take our beautiful lizards and our people to their great beyond. Some of us have learned the basics of the language to be able to outsmart them. Not get caught.
I assume
Wait.
Urzin is like relaying this info.
Out of context, he's asking us to take them where?
He's relaying that the Drukari are coming here to take... This is me out of context saying this. The minute
Yes,
you hear
please.
this, Clovis, you immediately understand what's going on here. Drukari are coming to take those massive lizard creatures and the lizard folk to fight in the pits of Komora.
Slavers! We're dealing with a slave
Yay!
operation.
Oh, slavers,
Yup.
how lovely.
Well, to be fair, Drukari are either slavers or raiders, and most of the time they're both.
Yep.
It's
So
just
you quickly
it's always
realize...
interesting. It's always interesting to see what they're more focused on at any given moment than
Clovis,
what they're doing.
everything kind of begins to fall into place. That ship, probably, the final destination they were going to was probably an entrance to the webway so they could get back to Komora after doing a slave run. It was likely that the Hemlock also had a larger ship with it that was able to basically come down and pick up the Hemlock's crew and components just because it happened to be in the area. It's likely that there are no Drakari still left around, at least not at this point in time.
Well, that's good. But I am a bit concerned. Tell the lizard man what they want.
Ask him what he wants from us, sir?
Yes. We've already asserted that we're not enemies of theirs, but this dialogue is open because they want something.
My, captain's wondering what you wish from us.
You see the leader kind of look at your weaponry, specifically your guns. You have their weapons. You can fight their creatures. We want Old Home back. You see him point to where the blighted tree stands. They ruined Old Home, made it into some place for she who needs the water. We want it back.
She who needs the water. Ugh. Xenos primitives and their pointlessly flowery language. Gradius.
Urizen,
Yes.
you kind of think to yourself, she who needs the water sounds a lot like a primitive way of saying she who thirsts.
Chaos. Well, that doesn't surprise me too much. I caught on to the reference pretty quick. Alright. How many are there? How many Drakari are over in that blighted area?
How many, numbers does your people count?
None of the spiny ones. Only their winged beasts.
Winged beast. Is he talking about the insects?
They may be referring to Drakari jet bikes. But there's also a distinct possibility that they may have a homunculi with them, which is not good news for us. He turns to Matthias and Gradus. Drakari have flesh sculptors among their number, high-ranking barber chirurgeons of their own people.
Mm-hmm.
The surgeries they perform for their kin are grotesque most of the time. But there are moments where they feel it fitting to create winged Drakari to use as assassins and forward scouts. If the lizard man is not referring to aerial vehicles of some kind, it is likely he's talking about one of their mutated kin. In either case, we might need to keep an eye up on the skies. He turns to the shaman and relays through Urzen. How many warriors do you have at your disposal? We may be able to clear them out should we combine our forces.
You see him kind of think, I need to recue the music. The jungle ambience just stopped.
Yeah.
Give me a second.
Not the jungle ambience. Oh no.
I mean, it's going to be changed the minute you guys go into the evil blighted area, but you know. Okay. You see him kind of think, we have a few hundred warriors that my tribe can muster, including our ones who also see the beyond. Urzen, you can gather from just the way he dances around words, he's probably talking that they have psychers among their people.
Oh god, so boy, yay.
Completely unsanctioned and potentially dangerous psychers. But psychers.
We have several soldiers on our own encampment. And we have a mighty metal vehicle that can leverage extreme destruction. Should we be able to clear it through the foliage, together we might be able to take out the Drakari stranglers here on the surface.
You see him kind of nod. We can clear a way for your metal mount if you give us... He kind of basically whispers among his people in their own tongue. Give us 1 full day cycle. We will clear a path to the blighted jungle for you and your metal vehicle.
In the meantime, I shall muster my own forces. The Drakari will fall tomorrow. 1 full day cycle, and we shall cleanse this planet of their filth.
You see the lizard folk nod, and you see him basically relay this to his people. We will meet you here in this clearing. The path
Very well.
The path will be cleared from directly... He basically points toward where the jungle is and then points further to, like, basically where the edge of the barrier is. Straight along here.
Very well. I shall see you then.
You see them give you a nod of assent as they basically... You can tell as they basically mutter... they are actually riding the lizards, though you can tell that... Think of it like a symbiotic relationship. You can tell that the lizard folk are also probably carnivores, and in return for basically using their technology, etc. Think of it like wolves and people, but giant dinosaur predator lizards and lizard folk. You can tell that the 2 giant lizards are their pets, which is probably why they didn't go for the settlement. Or your guys' camp. Because they are being led.
That makes sense, yeah. Alright, Corvus is gonna call his team for a group huddle. Alright, listen up, you. Arisen, Vandegrim, Gradius. As a member of the Ordo Xenos, I have special permission to negotiate with minor alien races such as these natives, if it is in the interest of the Imperium. As it stands, there's a group of Drakari slavers stranded on this planet, and their mere existence is a crime that must be answered with post-haste. This alliance is a temporary one. Don't get it into your head that we are here to save these reptiles. They are useful pawns, and no more. Once the situation has been cleared, and the Drakari have been defeated, and the key from this world claimed, we leave them to their own devices. Any questions?
If they have something valuable, shall we purge them too?
We only have a small cruiser's worth of people. We don't have enough men to take the planet and purge everyone. And this planet is an idyllic paradise. I'd rather not risk large-scale warfare destroying it before we've had a chance to properly catalog it for natural resources. I shall leave that to the discretion of an explorator fleet, once we finish our business here.
Understood.
Right.
We shall enlighten this world in due time. But we have priorities, and the Imperium can always come back here within a decade or a century or so. I doubt the situation will change much.
Understood.
Right.
Right now I'm more concerned about those Drakari. I want them dead. So, let us retreat and muster some forces from the ship. We need to supplement these lizard folk, and I have an inkling that they will be mere cannon fodder for the Drakari.
Looking at their weaponry, that was 100% true, by the way.
Meanwhile, our own forces must be prepared for the inevitable... Excuse me. Sorry, that was out of character. I'd rather not waste all of our men on an attack on the Drakaris, so we'll be sure to get a few good men who can supplement the ranks of the lizard folk. But remember, we are to minimize our own casualties. If the lizard folk are wiped out fighting the Drakari, no loss. Any questions or moral objections that need to be aired out now? And you see, as he says moral objections, Clovis like rests a hand on his Ripper pistol.
Oh my
Not
god.
at all, Lord
As soon
Captain.
as there's like the topic of moral objections, for one of the rare moments, you actually see a mechanicus actually just chuckle at that.
Good. Let's return to camp and summon reinforcements from the ship. They haven't shot us down the first time, so I doubt these Drukhari have anti-air defenses. Back to the Rhino.
Mm.
All right. You all get back to the Rhino. You all basically drive back to camp. Some Vox relays and, messages are exchanged with the Sun's Heart. You get a couple more shuttles of decent, of house soldiers and another small, couple handful of Scutari for Gradius to command. And you prepare to set in for the night. You guys, your house soldiers have watches decided to make sure no predators or anything sneaks up on you during the night. Everything is in order. With that being mentioned, how would all your characters spend the remainder of the day waiting and preparing? I will start at the bottom with Will. Gradius, what would he be doing to prepare for tomorrow's strike?
He's basically just gonna make sure that his equipment's well oiled, uh, and preparing for any potential mechanical failures.
Alright, what would Urizen be doing on the planet?
Cleaning weapons, checking in with the ship, like basic maintenance stuff.
Alright. Skid, what would Matthias be doing?
So I want to say something unique and creative, to be a little bit different, but unfortunately Matthias is also just cleaning his weapons. He's like double checking like everything's like in working order. He's like all like the little flying like insects around, he like aims his gun at them like, and pretends to shoot them, but he won't shoot them. And
He just wants to shoot them.
he wants to shoot them, and he'll pretend to shoot them, and like he'll like mimic like the like he mimics the recoil of his guns, and he'll be like, and he'll like every now and then just go, that would miss. He would just go, that would miss, or dead on, perfect. Just to himself, just like whispering to himself, like a little lunatic.
Alright, what would Clovis be doing?
Clovis brought a small bookshelf with him full of like his own notes. Like, notes and observation stuff, like journals from like his past experiences in the Jericho reaches. And he's just casually thumbing through the blood-stained pages of the Drukhari interrogations he has. Just like leafing through some handwritten notes of his about like Drukhari's, like they're very spiky, so don't get too close to them, and do not engage in witty banter with them. That just gets them off.
Damn.
The best way to
Alright.
punish a Drukhari is through sensory deprivation in the long term.
Truly.
And I guess as he's doing that, he's just like smoking on a low stick, reclined on like one of those old shit. Like,
But he didn't smoke.
well, not necessarily like a low smoke. Hang on, let me pull up. Wait, hang on. Raven.
Just because Clovis doesn't smoke low doesn't mean he doesn't smoke weed, Skid.
That's true.
He's just basically like this with a glass of wine in one hand. Where's the meme section? Oh, meme.
I was about to say, because I played Ron, I vividly remember that Clovis does not like low.
He's like drinking from a small cup, like memes and media like that in his little tent.
fucking god. Alright. I'm going to call a 5-minute break for everyone.
Okay.
That's good.
I get to pee.
Bathroom time.
Bathroom time.
Yeah, bathroom time.
Woot woot.
Be right back.
Everyone be back by X25.
Got it.
Coolio.
You will.
Hey, Tam. Oh yeah, great idea for powering up the spaceship.
Well, it's yours, and his entire point is to be able to mess with ship controls. Nice game.
I have bread.
Based.
Italian. It's very good. Where the fuck's my lockpicking kit? I'm gonna fidget with that instead of scrolling through Twitter.
I return.
Hello.
I got spurs that jingle, jingle, jingle.
Bread.
Are you just literally just audibly nomming on bread and saying, bread?
Yes.
Bush's baked beans.
Yummy. I like bread. It's good bread. It's Italian. Nice crusty, like the crust is all is crunchy and the inside is soft. There's the shit right there.
Fair.
I have noise canceling on, but if you guys hear me unclick and click the lock that I have, tell me and I'll mute myself. It's quite loud to me. That was the lock, by the way. The little zip sound that you just heard, that was me opening up my tools. I'm fidgeting with my lockpicking kit instead of my phone and scrolling on Twitter.
Fair.
First try.
Nice.
On the
All right.
Nice. I'm really excited for the Space Marine 2 showcase in 4 days.
Woo! 4 days.
Let me know when you do. I'll join you on that live stream.
first try. Again.
I'm not gonna live stream it. That's like, I'm gonna be honest. I don't like watching live streams for like video game news because it's like, get to the fun bit, and like I get disappointed. I'd rather just wait for it to finish, and then like I get the highlight reel of like what I want to know.
That's what I do.
Yeah, because like then it's like you spend half the day waiting for the live stream to pass, and then by the end of it, it's like, okay, well now what? It's like, no, I'd rather do some shit, check out the aftermath, and be like, oh cool, then get on with my day.
Okay.
I don't know. That's just me.
Alrighty. Roll call time. Diego.
I'm here with my Ripper pistol ready to rip ass. Non-sexually, of course.
Yes, non-sexually, sure thing. I'm sure, but I'm sure, buddy. I'm here. Hello.
Hello.
Pam. You are muted.
What?
Are you here?
I'm here. I was just talking to Rook.
Oh, understandable. Will.
Choose,
Hello.
please.
All
Okay.
right. So the next morning, you all wake up, get ready, eat some forage breakfast. It's pretty good. It's not like, the boring ass rations you've had for months in the warp. So that's pretty sweet.
Yummy.
You get everything in order. You gather your troops. Gradius, you're gonna have to drive slower than you were yesterday just because, you're having
We
to
have
be
a bunch
followed
of-
by your soldiers on foot.
We just have a bunch of schmoes. Just a bunch of schmoes walking with us.
Yeah, you have a bunch of schmoes basically walking behind your vehicle. So, you drive back and you see that there has been a path cleared. It looks like... Do you guys know what the concept of slash and burn is?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, think like that to clear a path through the forest that the rhino does in fact fit through. You can tell they made it about, like the width of one of their lizards, which is about the width of the rhino, so it works well. You guys are able to drive through the thick part of the jungle and into the spooky, scary skeleton area. Everyone, as we get into the spooky, scary skeleton area, which I'm putting in Game General, this is what the beautiful, nice paradise forest turns into as you get closer. Everyone, please roll me a willpower check.
Spooky. Oh boy,
Oh,
willpower?
yay. The thing
I think my
don't
willpower-
really have.
Yeah, me neither. That's because I'm partially insane.
I'm trying to remember what pure faith and unshakable faith does for me because
Damn
I
it.
am a missionary.
I fail by
Is it-
3.
I think you get bonuses.
Good? Is it
Do
good?
I get bonuses?
Sorry if you guys can hear all the
Yes!
fucking jets flying over my house. Holy shit, that's like the 5th one.
We have not.
I actually
Probably,
cannot hear.
They're probably firefighting.
I
Yeah,
do
they're
not
Cal
get
Fire
bonuses.
planes and choppers, but Jesus.
Yeah.
Let me look up. Which ones do you have, Diego?
Unshakable faith and pure faith. Well, my special ability is pure faith, but I think that just grants me an ability.
Can A right, man. Hell yes.
Aloo,
Yeah.
I've resisted
You're
here. Does that
immune to
matter?
the demonic presence.
Unshakable faith. The explorer may re-roll failed fear tests, which this is technically not.
Oh, well, I need a roll for this anyways, so.
And
Let me
pure
look-
faith, if you have
Pure
pure faith,
faith.
is the explorer is immune to the demonic presence.
Yeah, it basically
Oh,
means
16. I make
Okay.
that.
I
So as
failed.
you get into the bad vibes area, you all are doing fairly good. You're feeling pretty decent, but you notice all of your men just kind of, some of them kind of like stiffen. Like their limbs kind of seem to lock up. A couple of them just start like laughing and like joking with each other like, hey, bro, this is the best time ever. Some of them like basically cover their ears as if something is yelling at them. Some of them fall over to the ground basically screaming in agony. Some are fine like you are, but the majority of your men and the lizard folk you see are immediately overcome with strange afflictions.
Clovis is just going to, like, raise his chainsword up so, like, everyone can see. It's like, forward! The filth of the Xenos presence has been detected up ahead. Ignore
If you're-
what your eyes and ears see and follow my voice alone. Cling true to the
Sir?
faith in the Emperor.
Sir, someone's telling us to kill you? You hear a couple mutter, yeah, it is telling us to kill him.
Elune, I did fail. by the
You
way.
you failed? Oh,
I failed.
Skid,
Yes,
I need
have
to
a
roll
very
a D4
low willpower.
then.
Oh boy, yeah, I have a very low
Skid.
willpower. Uh-huh.
As you're kind of standing there, you see a couple other people go like, this is the best time ever. And you start to agree with them. Yeah, this is the best time ever. This is great. This is incredible. This is exactly where I'd want to be. This is like fucking paradise. Please roll me another willpower test.
Oh yay. Sure thing. I have a 31 willpower. I fail again.
Skid. So as you're basically
Surprise,
sitting there, as
Surprise,
you're basically
surprise.
standing there thinking, this is the best time ever, you kind of just stop looking for danger. Nothing's bothering you. This is the best place you've ever been in your entire life. Behind your mask, you're smiling like, this is great. I'm so happy to be here, as everyone else is, screaming in pain. You have a -10 to perceive any danger for the next, 2 hours.
Let's fucking
In-game.
go. Let's go. Matthews is having a great, fantastic, fun time.
Yeah, he's having the best time ever.
He's having the best time of his life.
Now
That's
that
crazy.
we've established that Matthews is having the best time ever, making your way through the thickets, you all are in a place currently shrouded in unnatural darkness and a hazy green mist. Stepping onto the ground, you're all hit with a wave of profound sadness followed by an almost sickening high. A euphoria beyond anything you've ever felt before, which for Matthews kind of sticks, but for the rest of you,
I'm
it
already
fades.
feeling that. I'm having the best time ever.
All that's left is a strange longing, warped and wicked trees, muddy, decaying ground, and an eerie silence that echoes louder than the previous wildlife.
Oof.
After a little bit of, the uncontrollable pain from some of the men ended up passing, you see them kind of get back up on your feet. Some of them are basically still, kind of shivering as if they're freezing, but it's not really that much colder here than it was in the jungle. Overall, a lot of them look fairly sick. Something isn't right here.
Matthews still has like a kick in his step. He's having a great time.
Except for Matthias, yeah, and a couple of the other men who are just as giddy and happy as Matthias is beside you.
Alune.
Matthews is a very quiet guy, so it's hard to tell with his mask on, but you can tell by how he's walking that he's, like, enjoying his time.
Yes, Will.
Since I rolled a 6 on my willpower save, is Gradius like super focused on anything right now, or is he just like that well versed in the preemptive combat kind of thing?
It's more the latter. You know what you have to do. You have to, keep the vehicle steady. You don't want to crash it with the Lord Captain inside. You're focused on your task. You're in your element. The weirdness of the place around you doesn't bother you. In fact, you didn't even feel the strange sense of mirth that everyone else did for the little bit of time. Some people are muttering how strange it is, and you quickly realize, Gradius, you never felt it at all.
Gradius's eyes widens underneath his helmet. Um, and only like his lieutenants would actually be able to, really tell with his body language. So then from there, as we're driving a little bit closer, do we have a gunner on the Rhino?
That would be Clovis, most likely, because, he needs to be where the men can see him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so he'd be up where the gun turret is.
Clovis,
Yes?
is there some sort of lull striking the men? Because Matthias is being a little bit too eager with the scouts.
I've noticed that some of our men have been contemplating insubordination, but I know better than to take it at point blank value. The environment is influencing our men.
Matthews is just kicking his legs in his seat. That's the only, like, big noticeable thing, I think. He's just kicking he's kicking his little metal legs. He's like swinging his head back and forth. Homie's having a great fucking time. You can hear the rattling of the bones on his hat. He's having a grand old time. Homie's having the best time of his life.
Gradius is a little bit unsettled because he can't tell whether or not if it's what he is, the programming that dulls the stress, or if he's not what he think he is. So it's starting to bug him.
Master Vandergrim, comport yourself. You are unsettling the Skitari, as unlikely as it sounds.
My apologies, Lord Captain.
Care to explain yourself?
You see him kind of tilt his head a little bit. I am merely observing, Lord Captain.
You seem to be enjoying yourself a bit too much.
I am quite having a fantastic time, Lord Captain. In fact,
And I
the
would
best
like
time
to
of my
say-
life currently.
Skid, I would like to say you got the one thing that isn't, like, horrendous suffering.
Yay!
Look to your compatriots outside the Rhino, and you'll see that your behavior is most inappropriate.
Matthias, looks, and his behavior does not change at all.
Yeah,
because,
Matthias, you kind of see them
he
suffering.
Can't stop.
Yeah, you kind of see them suffering, and you, logically think to yourself, wow, that's horrible. But then there's, a little voice that says, but it isn't happening to me, which still makes this place the best place ever! And the feeling does not stop.
The feeling does not stop. Matthias kind of looks at them and goes, oh, they must be having an utmost terrible time.
Urzin, how are you doing?
Yes. You can see him, I'm imagining him sitting next to Matthias. Just
that's horrible.
Cowering against the wall, terrified.
So just like Urzin on a normal day.
So here's on a normal day. I like to think that
No.
Matthias,
But
instead
most
of...
the time, here's the thing. Most of the
Okay, go
time, Urizen can hide it because he's so used to being scared. He can just sort of, yes, he might appear tense, but he can hide fear. The person who he's most scared of currently is acting completely out of character. He is terrified and cannot hide it.
And Matthias, who has not much else to look at because he's incredibly unaware, is looking directly down at Urizen with his mask on, all the bones on his hat rattling as he's swinging his head a little bit back and forth, the clanking of his metal boots as he's swinging his legs. He's acting like a giddy little child, and it's horrifying.
Yeah, the Xenos hunter is staring at the Xenos
While looking like he's having
This is
And-
not okay.
And Matthias
Concerning.
can't do anything about it.
He just feels happy.
He's just
Really
having-
irrationally
he-
happy.
He's having the best time of his life. He hasn't felt this happy in years, unfortunately.
Will, please roll me a driving test
Okay.
to drive the vehicle in the bad vibes land, which for Matthias has become the best vibes of his life land.
The best lives of his life. He's having a great time, and he's staring directly at Urzin, the most happiest he's ever been ever, and bad things might happen later.
Everyone is
Uh.
everyone is fucking driving into the forests of Verdun, but like for Matthias, he's going to Barbie World.
He's in fucking Barbie land. He's having the greatest time of his life. He gets to go like he's thinking about like he is a he would be a Barbie guy. He likes Barbies. He's like, oh, I'm going to Barbie land. I get to put on fun dresses and talk to Barbie. We get to have tea parties together. I get to meet Ken and go surfing. I'm so excited. That's Matthias right now. Except
Meanwhile-
he's staring at Urizen. What he's thinking about right now is I'm having the best time ever because I'm sitting next to a Xenos who I'm terrifying. I'm having a great
Oh.
time.
To be
He
fair,
loves it.
that
gets
that
off
would be
my
pretty on
character
brand for him, just to be happy about making an alien suffer.
He does actually get really happy when he makes aliens suffer. The alien suffering is like his favorite thing in the fucking world. He loves tormenting Xeno so much.
Okay, so you continue driving, and the terrain's becoming more and more hostile as you go along. Decayed, kind of gnarly ground has turned into muddy swamp. You know, your men are kind of having a hard time. You're slogging through basically the depths of the worst fucking bog you've seen in your life.
The best fucking bog I've ever seen in my life.
Except for Matthias, where this is the best terrain he's ever seen and everything is great still. Because it's about an hour later, which means he's still on that fucking high. And you know, you're about halfway through the bad land to the tree at this point. And Clovis, sitting atop the rover, you see a flock of birds flying around in the sky.
Do they have
This is in
human
heavy quotation
limbs?
marks. Do they have human limbs? That's a really good question. Let me look what these things look like. They have legs.
But no human-looking hands or arms, right?
No. Well, they kind of have. They look like something that could be arms, but they're too far away to really tell. They look vaguely humanoid-shaped, maybe.
Clovis is going to discreetly angle the heavy stubber turret upwards so that when they inevitably come down, he might be able to clip a couple. He's just being cautious because, like, he knows that's not a good sign.
No. As you're kind of looking at them, you kind of get... You've spent a lot of time in the Inquisition, and you kind of think that, you know, from the environment, something's really wrong here. The things in the sky circling, and eventually you realize those aren't birds, those have bat wings.
Oh no. I can fucking
are
hear them.
Out of context, what are they?
You're about
Something
to find
bad
out.
that we may need to kill them. Clovis looks towards the men and is like, everyone, ready, las guns and stubbers.
Your men kind of all basically take their stubber, you know, they all take their weapons out, and they basically begin tracking these things. And you guys hear just horrible, demonic screeching, as basically they descend down upon the ground, basically flying down. Diego, do you have demonology?
I regret to inform you that I am strictly Ordo Xenos and not Ordo Malleus. I have zero knowledge of fighting demons because that is quite literally not my department.
I'm gonna roll raw intelligence just to kind of know what these are, and everyone please
don't
turn to
have
slide
that.
9.
1d100, that is a 98. I have no idea what's coming my way. I just know it is bad.
So you basically, that's slide 8 that I just turned to. Make a Matthias token skid. So I'm gonna make a thing for the tank. So as you guys kind of as they kind of start swooping down, you guys have, like a moment of, okay, all right, they're coming a little close. They're coming a little closer. Oh, wow, they're coming closer. Oh, shit. And you see your men basically start firing at them. Lasgun fire, bouncing off
Autoguns.
their wings, and stubber rounds just basically passing through their bodies. You have no clue what these things are, but boy, do they want to kill you. Everyone roll for initiative.
Yay!
I'm putting these in enemies.
I have a +2 bonus to initiative
So
because
we're
I
dealing
have
with,
paranoia.
So we're dealing with what's it called? Shriekers?
You can look at a picture of them.
No, I'm just making a joke, like a reference.
It's a D10 for initiative, right?
Oh, Jesus.
It's D10 plus agility, right? If I remember correctly.
Yes.
I believe so, yes.
11!
Let me pull up the stats of these fuckos.
God damn it.
13.
Go!
1d10 plus
Hell
4.
fucking yes, baby! Gradius is his element.
9.
They rolled a 7. Someone order initiative for me, please.
Yeah.
So, you guys as a party are going to be taking on 2 of them.
While the men deal with the rest, I'm guessing.
Well, the men are shooting at the rest. So you currently have 2 that are trying to kill you.
Matthews is having the best time of his life. He's in the
actually,
best
all
place
of you,
ever,
as
and
these
he gets
things-
to kill shit.
No, as all these things swoop down, Matthias, you immediately begin to not have the best time of your life. Holy shit, you're not having the best time of your life. Everyone else, other than Clovis, please roll me willpower -10. Oh, no,
Is
wait,
this
hold
a
on. Let me
fear
check what
save?
their trait is. It is the fear condition.
I have resistance to that.
Do you not feel it, then?
I don't know.
What is the exact ability? Tam, look it
Resistant.
up.
Fear.
That means you roll twice, or I think you have a +10. Check in the rulebook for me. I'm currently checking this trait to see exactly what this means, because I have a fairly high fear rating, and I need to tell you the actual penalty.
I'm so excited to be afraid of these. I'm so excited because I'm going to fail the willpower save again.
Traits. Fear. Everyone roll with a -30, except for Clovis, who rolls with a -20.
I have to roll a 1. The attempt can be made. That's not a 1.
That is not good. That's a failure for me.
Everyone needs to note for me how many degrees of failure.
Give me a
8.
second. Figure out what resistance means.
I had to roll a 1.
Everyone real quickly, just write how many degrees of failure so I can calculate some things.
8. That's crazy.
How the fuck
8.
do you spell resistance?
I had to roll a 1.
That was pretty bad.
Yeah, I have a 31. I had to roll a 1.
The more degrees of failure, the worse this is, so...
Well, it's okay. It's okay. This is fine, guys. This
And
is
degrees,
fine.
Degrees
and
are
dandy.
every 10 or every 20?
Every 10.
Every 20, every 10?
Every 10. Dice, it's degrees of success and failure are every 10. It's 2 degrees of success for extra dice for damage, for guns.
Right. I remember now. Yeah, that's a 2 degrees of failure for me.
Oh.
What does resistance do? I don't know. Where would I find that in the rulebook?
So, for Gradius, 1 degree to failure.
Okay.
So resistance, the talent, you gain a +10 bonus to resistance tests. So you have a +10, which means you have a plus or a -20.
Yeah. Same as Clovis.
Oh, lovely.
Skid, that's really bad.
Yeah, I'm
you.
aware. I had to roll a 1.
Skid, roll me a D100.
Okay.
We'll do you first.
59.
And add 80 to it.
And add 80 to it? Oh my god.
Is that over 170?
7.
Yes?
Matthews.
Yes. Uh-huh.
You were having the best time of your life.
Awesome.
Your life was going incredible. Things were great. These things swoop down, and you just freeze. It's coming straight towards you, talons outstretched, shrieking, maw open, and you feel your world just shatter. Everything just seems to go black, white, every color as you go paralyzed in fear. You fall to the ground and start screaming.
Awesome.
Skid, please roll me 2d10.
Yay! I know exactly what this is for!
Oh boy.
I already have some of these!
Am I gonna need to get a new seneschal?
8.
You gain 8 insanity points.
Awesome!
Roll me another
max-
d10.
Okay, hold on. Let me add this to my insanity points real quick. I now have 13 insanity points. How cool is that, guys?
We'll need to roll you another test after we deal with this.
What do you need me to roll?
1d10.
4.
You lose 4 from your willpower score.
That's
permanently.
okay. That's fine. I'm okay with this.
And then roll me 2 more d10.
Okay, that's now a 27. Which brings, I'll have to fix all that later, because that's now a +2. 2d10?
Yes.
2d10. 15.
You are hallucinating for a minute and a half. Acute, horrible hallucinations as you basically are crumpled in the fetal position, screaming and crying.
Awesome!
You are incapacitated
Yay.
for combat.
Okay, great. I'm useless.
As for the rest of you, all of you roll me d100s now and add a number of points plus times 10 degrees of failure. So for Clovis, that's 20. For Gradius, it's 10. For Urzin, it's 10.
10 what?
Just add that many points.
That's a 31, so I'm
Hello.
still good.
Yeah, Clovis is pretty fine.
There's no skills that require willpower. Neat.
What does that 82 mean?
Both of you at the bottom may want to re-roll that.
Alright, I'll spend a fate point to reroll.
Okay!
The higher the number you roll, the worse your reaction is to the horrible shit you saw.
I like
Alright.
Okay, all of you are pretty chill. So all of you begin to, like, as these things are flying towards you, you all kind of have a moment of panic. It's all like, holy shit, what is that? What is that? And you guys kind of feel you feel a little bit shaky as they basically fly back to come for another pass. You're shaken, but not irreparably, unlike poor Matthews who's screaming and crying on the ground. You all are like, you all kind of are a little shaky, but mostly alright. You don't gain any insanity points, and you currently have a -10 penalty to all rolls during this combat. However, at the end of your turns, you can make a willpower test. Once you succeeded that willpower test, that penalty goes away.
Understood.
So, currently all of you have a -10 for checks against these creatures, but suffer no other ill effects.
Okay.
Unless your name is Matthias.
Unless your name is Matthias, in
Who's
which
basically-
Matthias was already partially insane. Now he's more insane than normal.
You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna give you a Savuli. Hold on.
You're gonna give me a Savuli? What does that mean?
I'm gonna give you guys a Savuli so that we have a replacement for poor Matthias. Also, I'm putting Clovis on the tank because he is piloting the gun. Urzin, you're up first.
Oh, yay.
You're a little shaken, but compared to everyone else, or compared to Matthias, you're doing great.
You're having a great time because Matthias can't kill you right now.
You're a little shaken, but overall, you're doing okay.
Where the fuck do I find the insanity stuff in the fucking rulebook?
Skid, we're gonna have to resolve Matthias's trauma over this event after combat.
After combat, I'm trying to figure out where the shit is in the book. I don't
It's
know.
near the end.
I know it's near the end. I'll look.
So, Tam, I'm assuming you said you're shooting something, correct?
I'm shooting a bitch.
Which one? I'm gonna label them 1 and 2.
Can I see if I hit them first?
No.
God damn it.
They're both the
1.
same. Okay. You're shooting 1. Good to know.
Shooting it. Okay.
-10. How many degrees is that?
My ballistic skill is 61.
So it's 51 3 degrees success. Roll 2 dice. You hit.
Yippee.
Actually, it's gonna try and dodge you.
Fuck.
It succeeds. You shoot at it, and it basically quickly does like a barrel roll out of the way as it's still screeching. It's coming right for you. Take a second shot.
Yes, please.
Shoot the motherfucker.
I shot
That
the
succeeds
motherfucker.
exactly. It cannot dodge. Roll your damage.
And that would involve me knowing what this gun does. 1d4. Or 1d10 plus 4.
Nice, go for it.
Go.
Fuck 'em
go,
up.
Go. 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 Go.
Oh.
All right. You go and you shoot it, and pink! Your bullet flies right off. It resists your damage. It scoffs at you. It's still shrieking and coming right for you. Is that the end of your turn?
Can I hide?
If you look at the battle map, if you can find a place to hide, actually no, you can't move or anything. So unless you can hide where you currently are standing, that's gonna be a no.
Tree.
Roll me concealment, -10, because you did just shoot.
What if I climb the tree and make that an acrobatics test? Or
No.
climb test?
No.
Damn it.
They can fly.
Oh yeah, you're right. Maybe being in the tree is a bad idea.
Yeah, they can fly.
Oh, that would be a -10 on, okay. On concealment, which is agility, which is 70. That succeeds!
Okay,
I am hidden.
so you basically kind of disappear behind the tree, ducking behind it. It loses you. It will go for someone
Yay!
else.
Like,
Gradius,
kind of
you're up.
roots or something.
Alrighty. Let's see. Am I in or outside the tank?
We'll say that once everything started going down, you got out of the tank.
Alrighty,
That you could
cool.
go and beat the shit out of things. So I'm actually
Alrighty.
going to put you further up by where the driver's side is. So here you are. You're here.
Am I looking at the wrong map? Yes, I am. Okay. I'm gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to charge.
Alrighty. Keep in mind you have a -10 penalty on top of everything else. Roll to hit.
With the charge, it's also a +10, so it becomes a 0.
So yeah, just you roll with your normal mods.
Alrighty. D100. Let me double check my to hit. +5. So that means I need to roll a 52.
Yes.
Fuck.
You swing.
I'm
You
gonna
go
spend
and
a fate
basically.
point. I'm gonna spend a
Okay,
fate point.
reroll. That's fate point 2.
35.
You hit. Roll your damage, please.
Mm-hmm. And I remember correctly, the degrees of success for combat is 20, right?
Hmm.
For degrees of success in combat is every 20, right? Or what's
Doesn't
that?
matter for melee.
Got it. Alrighty, cool. I can't find it on my character sheet. Oh, duh.
Hopefully.
I rolled a
Maybe.
19.
We'll see.
Okay. You go and you basically take your chainsword and you can feel as you cut through its skin. It feels like trying to cut through iron, like solid metal. But you do manage to break through its skin and you hack off one of its legs.
Hell fucking
It's
yes.
not dead, but it's very wounded.
Yep, and a charge, I believe, costs my entire full action.
Yes.
So that will be it for me.
Alrighty. Matthias is on the ground screaming. Clovis.
I get up with the, I try and aim with the stubber turret to blast him out of the sky.
Alrighty. Full auto burst. Roll me against your ballistic skill. Every
Let's
degree of
see.
success is one more round hit.
I need to roll under a 47. Nope.
Full auto burst gives you a +30. So it's a +20 total.
Oh, so that's, let's see, that is a 67. So, yeah, I beat
1 degree of success. Roll 2d10 plus 10.
3d10 plus 10. Just, 21
Alrighty.
points of damage.
You blast number 1 out of the sky. 2 bullets, one hits it straight through the chest, the other straight through the eye. Gradius, you watch as it collapses in front of you.
Hell yeah.
Aiming towards the other, Batto.
Full auto burst is a full action.
Oh, never mind. Well, I swivel the turret around, just ready to shoot the other one.
Alrighty. The bat fuckos. Let me check their skills. Ah, they have that ability. Okay. Skaduk. It flies towards you.
By the way, Skid went to the bathroom.
Yeah, I know.
They're still listening.
Just checking something real quick.
Go for it.
What does that trait do? If I remember right, it affects that.
Skid is still listening. Excuse me.
No worries. Right. Okay. Never mind. Doesn't actually do what I thought it did. Alright. Gradius, this thing is going to try and beat the absolute ever-living shit out of you. It's going to attack you twice as a half action.
Alrighty.
Its first attack misses. Its second attack hits you.
Can I dodge it?
Roll agility.
Or not dodge, parry.
Roll to parry. You need to beat 1 degree of success to successfully parry.
Fuck, I don't parry at all.
You do not parry. You go to basically try and take your chainsword to, basically parry its teeth as it goes to take a bite out of your shoulder. And you basically watch as it almost phases through your sword. It deals... What's your armor rating?
My current armor rating with the power armor... Actually, I don't really know what the power armor rating is.
Maybe you should have written that down.
Armor rating for power armor?
Yeah,
Isn't
I
it
want to say
7?
it's 8, or was it,
I'm pretty sure it's 7.
Is it light or regular?
It's regular.
8.
Yep, 8.
8?
Yeah,
That's probably good. It does 15 points of damage.
Oh boy, yeah.
With a
Alright.
penetration of 2. So it ignores 2 points, so subtract 6 plus your toughness bonus from 15.
Okay. So, my toughness bonus, it is 5.
So you take 4 points of damage.
Alright.
As it bites through your power armor, basically short-circuiting one of the plates out and into your flesh. Metal? Flesh? Ow. Either way, owie. Your pain sensors are going off.
Ouch.
And now has a second half action because it's able to move and attack on the same time with swift attack. Fuck, what's its weapon score? It misses its third attack. So it basically it tries to claw you, you manage to deflect it with your armor. It chomps straight into your shoulder, and then its third attack basically bounces off your armor a second time. That's the end of its turn.
Got
Top
it.
of the round, Urizen.
Tam?
He's muted. Give him a second.
I did not realize that. Sorry. Would it be nuts? How close to the ground is the tank?
The tank is
How
on the
much
ground.
clearance- How much clearance is there underneath it?
Like nothing, it's a tank.
Well, some tanks have clearance of Jerry.
You want to say that again a bit louder? I'm just joking, I'm joking.
Did I remind you of the Russians training dogs to hunt their tanks with bombs?
Yeah, I know. I know the Russians are capable of fucked up shit. The Americans are too.
True.
They're
Anyway,
not special.
So shooting it didn't work. Right? At all?
You shot it, but it resisted it.
Back. Okay. Can I do something?
Oh, I should mention, all of you who are affected by fear, except for Matthias, who's on the ground screaming. So Clovis, Tam, and Will, make me a willpower check to snap out of your shakenness.
Alright.
Oh boy.
There's no penalty for failing this, it just means you're still shaken up.
I'm still shaking.
Me too.
I succeed.
Gradius, the pain is sobering in a sense. You get, bitten by this thing and you realize after one fell down and one hit you, it's just another creature to kill. No more -10 penalty for you.
Nice.
Back to Tam's turn.
Fuck him up, fuck him up, fuck him up.
Yeah, out here with my screaming on the ground. Yeah, Matthias doesn't get a chance to snap out of that. He's gonna be on Funky for a little bit.
Can I do something like some weird acrobatic jumpy thing and then slash at it?
Do you have a sword?
I do have a sword.
Just, like, move towards it and use the charge action to move your full move and then beat the shit out of it.
Cool, can I do that?
Yeah.
Slash a bitch.
You have more than enough movement to get there, and then roll me a melee weapon attack neutral, because the plus 10 is mitigated by the fact that you have a minus 10 from being scared.
That works.
Out of
Thank you.
combat! That hits, you said?
Yes, it does.
Alrighty,
Does
roll your damage.
What
Welcome
the-
back, Skid.
As
Poor
soon as
Ren.
I told Ren's in a call right now with fucking Solo. They're fine. But they were just like, me for real.
That's
It's like, no,
headbutt.
not you for real.
Alrighty, Cam.
Yes.
You run up to it and you slice your knife across its chest. Once again, it's like cutting iron. You're sitting here like, what the fuck is this thing made out of? But you do notice some strange blackened blood. No, not black. Purple, bright purple blood begins to bleed out of it. You did wound it, but it's not looking too shaken up.
It's got radioactive grape soda for blood.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yummy, yummy. In my tummy. Put it in.
Of course you'd say that.
I would say, yeah, get that. Give me the grape soda.
I need it.
Is that the end of your turn, Tam?
Yes.
Alrighty, Gradius, you're up. You're
Sure.
locked in melee with this mofo.
Alrighty then. And if I remember correctly, regular melee attacks are half actions?
Yes.
Awesome. I will attack it.
Alrighty. Bunky, bunky. Chainsaw, chainsaw.
What was it?
Minus
well,
10.
I shook it off. I rolled a 36.
Oh, right, yeah, you were the only one who shook it off. So yeah,
Yeah.
you're fine.
So Grace is going to say, the Omnissiah, protects me. I miss. Second attack.
You have a second one. Gradius.
Yeah.
You use your chainsword and you go to slash it once, and you see it kind of basically flap its wings and basically quickly dodge out of the way. You go to hit it a second time, and once again you feel that feeling of cutting iron. You connect, but as you go to bring your chainsaw through it like you did the second one, you feel it kind of bat your sword away as it lets out a feral shriek.
Fuck my life. Anyways, that's my turn.
Clovis, you're up. If you are going to shoot into melee, it is at a minus 30 penalty between the insanity or the fear and the what's it called? The other thing. Shooting into melee.
Right.
So you'd effectively be shooting neutral.
Yeah, fuck it. I'm gonna try, instead of the full auto burst, I'm just gonna try 2 half-action shot attacks.
Alrighty. Please roll with a... Those will also be at a minus 30.
Minus 3 or 30?
30. And I don't think the heavy stubber is capable of regular shots.
So yeah, I guess I need to do full auto, but like that'll just be a flat roll.
Yeah, roll flat. For each degree of success, past the first one, you get an extra shot. An
Yeah,
extra hit.
better than nothing. Yeah, that is a misfire. Well, that is a...
It's not a misfire. It doesn't error out or anything. You don't jam it. But you basically go to shoot, and you're about to fire off your burst, and as Gradius basically... You see Urizen jump in the way right as you're about to fire, and you basically have to jerk the turrets that you don't fire directly into Urizen.
Ooh,
Because you don't want to rip up your pilot.
Yeah, no, that would be stupid of me.
Is that the end of your turn?
From the looks of it, yes.
Alrighty. Gradius, you've done much... Urizen, you know what you just did?
I did.
You slashed this thing.
I did.
It doesn't really like that.
Fuck.
It's gonna try and eat your face.
Well, fuck its feelings. Take it like a man.
No, it's not gonna take it like a man. It's a demented creature. It doesn't really understand taking things like a man. Its first attack misses.
Yay.
Second attack... hits. Would you like to dodge?
I would like to dodge. I've got really good agility. Can I please dodge?
You need to beat 2 degrees of success, or tie it. If you tie, player favoritism.
Okay, what does that mean?
It means you need 2 degrees of success or more to dodge. Roll the test. -10.
Is this... Okay, question. Does this technically count as acrobatics?
No, this is dodge.
Fuck.
Agility.
I was
It's the
hoping my
dodge
helmet-
skill.
I was hoping my helmet could help me. God damn it.
You do not dodge, I am
God
assuming.
damn it. Ah, yes.
Unless your
70.
agility is in 106, I don't think you dodge.
No, I don't.
You go to dodge out of the way, and you're about to get out of the way. You think you're about to, and then you feel the claws connect with your arm. It deals 14 points of rending damage. What is your armor?
What?
Rending is like basically armor piercing.
What is your armor rating, Tam?
4. If it wasn't, I'd be at 1 hit point.
Okay, -2, which brings it down to 12. What's your toughness bonus?
My toughness bonus, let me check real quick, is 5.
Okay, so instead of taking 14 damage, you take 7 damage.
That's doable.
Which probably hurts.
It does hurt. I'm at 8.
It has 2 more attacks.
God damn it.
It hits. This one deals. The fact that these things have tearing properties is really unfair. 7 -2, because your toughness bonus only counts for the first attack. 5 rending damage.
5. I'm at 3. Uh-oh.
Alright, Tam, this is the moment of truth.
Uh-oh.
There's Latin.
Can I try dodging again, or does that only
No.
work once?
That only works once unless you have the talent that lets you do it twice.
I don't think so.
It hits It hits exactly at a 40 Your weapon skill is not that high, Mr. Demon. Tam, it really doesn't like you. You didn't do that much damage. I don't know what's wrong with it.
Can I at least survive?
Probably. You deal...
I'm at 3.
You're at 3. I need to roll for what limb and area this hits you in because you're about to take
shit.
critical damage.
Oh boy, yeah, that's dangerous.
Yes.
Remind me what that means?
It means that you're going to be going below 0,
Uh-huh.
which means that I need to see what limb potentially gets completely mangulated.
What?
Yeah, critical hits in this game are fucking brutal.
Getting hit
What?
for damage below your maximum wounds means that you start suffering alternative effects. You may not outright die, but you may lose a limb or go into system shock or any number of horrible things.
Or your head could explode.
If it hits you in the
Not.
head, which you really hope it doesn't. You hope it hits you in one of your
I'm
extremities.
wearing an helmet. I'm wearing an
That
helmet.
doesn't matter.
But
It
I
can
have the
still
helmet.
definitely hit you. Unarmed combat, fatigue, energy critical effects, explosive critical attacks, rending critical effects. Here they are. Locations.
You know it's bad news if the book has more than one page dedicated to critical hits.
Yeah.
Yes. I need to look at the hit table to see what I roll.
Oh, Delicious in Dungeons getting a second season. That's fun.
Oh,
Yeah,
hell
I
yeah!
I
on
would
Twitter.
fucking hope it does.
Yeah, they announced they're making a season 2 for that show.
Yeah.
I would definitely hope so because they're more than halfway through the manga at the current end of the season, at season 1.
Pam,
Yeah.
it hits you in a leg
Okay.
and deals 6 points of damage, which
Fine.
means you're at 0, and then please write down that you have 3 points of critical damage on your sheet.
Okay.
So, Tam, as you basically go, you try and dodge out of the way, it's pummeling you with attacks, it hits you with its claws one last time, and you know the big-ass artery that runs through your leg?
Mm-hmm.
It severs that completely fucking open.
Oh god.
You suffer 1 level of fatigue and are currently have the blood loss condition.
Okay.
You may ask, what is blood loss? And to that I say,
dear DM.
that's a very good question. I should look at what blood loss does.
You'll need a medic, that's for sure.
Yes, you will. Blood loss is a critical effect that can result from critical damage. Characters suffering from blood loss have a 10% chance of dying each round unless treated in some way.
Excuse me?
If the suffering character is conscious, he may attempt a Medicae test each round to staunch the bleeding. If the character is also trying to simultaneously engage in strenuous activity, such as running away from whatever caused the blood loss, attempts to staunch the bleeding instead requires a very hard -30 Medicae test. If the suffering character is not conscious or doesn't fancy his chances, another character may attempt the test.
Is now a good time to mention I don't have Medicaid?
Does anyone have Medicae?
Clovis just pops up out of the turn and says, "Heck." And then he looks at and then he realizes he's talking about Urza, and he's like, Xenobiologist, somebody!
You have forbidden Lord
It's like a
Xenos, so you actually make it
veterinarian.
at no penalty.
Did you say veterinarian?
Veterinarian.
I mean, you have
Alright.
I mean, you have hooves.
That's the end of its
Yeah.
turn. Urizen! Speaking of which, you're up. Urizen Clovis, please roll to resist fear.
Rolling to resist fear.
And be grateful you didn't lose the leg.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
that I made it by just one.
Fuck yeah, Clovis. You see Urizen get basically struck down. Tam, I would like to mention that this is gonna put you on your ass. You basically...
I would think so.
You are in horrible pain. Your leg is mangled. You're barely conscious. You know, your vision's kind of spotty, and your only thought that really registers is, oh shit, I need to stop that, as you're kind of looking at all the blood gushing from your leg, as this thing is still looking at you like it wants to eat your face, because it does. Do you succeed at least on the fear test?
Yes.
You both are sober enough that you realize, I don't have time to be fucking scared, I might fucking die!
I think that would be reason to be scared, but okay.
Please roll me a second D100. If you roll a 90 or above, you fall over dead.
Oh god.
Oh shit.
Oh god. Oh god.
I'd like to point out that Tau blood is often blue or purple in color due to their
I am
cobalt-based
aware.
diet.
Okay.
Hey,
So,
are we allowed to use fate points on this, by the way?
This is what if Tam rolls a 90 or above, I will explain what Burning Fate does.
Okay. Oh,
Because you-
yes. We know what burning fate
Urizen,
is.
you are alive! You're woozy! You're looking at this thing that is just staring you down, about to actually claw into you again, and you're just like, oh shit, oh fuck, get me out of here, get me out of here!
Hitting enter was terrifying, by the way.
You are alive.
For now.
Wounded. Really badly wounded, but alive.
I drew Matthias.
I see that.
Cool. I need to see this.
Post
Oh,
this.
his eyes aren't staring in the same direction.
Yes. I like to think that his eyes, most of the time, don't stare in the same direction.
This feels like,
But, like, they're
this
slightly
feels
off.
like this all over again.
It does feel like that all over again. God, Matthias
Tam, what
is
would you
having
like to
the
do?
worst time. Actually, not as bad as Urizen.
Does scrambling away count as like physical activity?
Yes, it
It's
just
not
means
running.
that staunching. It does, but that just means that for this round, trying to staunch the bleeding would be harder. It doesn't carry over through rounds. So if Clovis tries to mend you this turn, it would be much harder. However, if he tries to staunch the bleeding next round, it would not apply if you're stationary. Think
Can
of
I
Urizen as
retreat
currently
out of his
running on
range?
adrenaline in hell.
Can I retreat out of its range towards the tank?
Yes. I'm assuming you're taking a full move action?
Getting as fucking far away from this thing as possible, yes!
You want to be, like, behind the tank, you probably want to be, like, here-ish.
Sure, let's go with that.
Clovis, now that you're closer, you get a good look at the wound. And you don't have the best understanding of Tau biology, but you have enough to probably attempt to staunch it, just because it's bleeding.
is blood.
You can staunch bleeding.
Oh boy. Alright. Hop out of the turret and see how I can stabilize the Tau.
That'll be on your
Uh,
turn. Gradius, you're up.
Alright, Gradius is going to see that his friend is getting fucked up, so he's going to try and fuck them up.
Alrighty, roll your first attack.
Alrighty.
I'd like to point out that Clovis does in fact have Medicaid.
Yeah, because
Good.
Clovis is based.
Dice.
Also, he ran
I need it.
interrogations.
Yeah, Matthias is still, by the way, laying on the ground, crying and screaming for like another minute.
I don't have Medicaid available to me, so I am very unhelpful
Diego.
in this situation.
Yo,
May I have a plus 10?
granted.
Alright,
Go
cool.
kill it.
I hit it
You hit it. Roll damage.
for 15 points of damage.
Holy shit, you hit like a truck.
Yeah,
It is still alive.
Even if I roll shit, I still hit like a freight train.
Yeah, no kidding.
Explorator
So
moment.
you basically go just beat the ever-living crap out of this thing, and you feel like you succeed. Once again, you rip off a leg. It's shrieking and crying and angry and just covered in bright purple grape soda blood, but it's alive.
I have a very distinct way if I kill this thing. I'm gonna execute this fucking thing. Sorry, currently, getting my dice bot ready. Shit. Alright, here we go. Second attack. Fuck my life. I'm gonna spend my third fate point to reroll that.
Alright,
'cause
reroll.
things are not looking good. That's my turn.
Alright, Clovis. You jump out of the tank, you scramble over to the Tau. I'll count that as a free action. Would you like to attempt to stabilize the poor, really swiftly bleeding out Tau?
Ow.
Abril invested much for your presence on his ship, and I'd rather not let that investment go to waste. Stand still.
Yes, sir.
Medicaid.
Minus
Trained.
30.
That's a 20 for me. Oh boy.
That's still a 20% chance that Tam doesn't need to make another 10% roll.
Damn it, that's a 22.
Would you like to
Damn
spend
it.
a fate point to add a plus 10 to that?
Can I?
Yeah.
Okay. Spit, dirt, band-aid, slap. Good to go.
Yeah, you basically very quickly are, basically tourniqueting above the leg. You're basically putting all sorts of pressure, or as in you almost black out from sheer pain on the wound, even though you know it's to help you.
Mhm.
But the bleeding is slowly beginning to stop. You succeed. Tam, you lose the blood loss condition, however, you still have
Yay.
those points of critical damage.
Lovely.
Alright. The bat fuckers.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
The
no.
Chiroptari.
It goes and turns to you, Gradius. Its melee opponent that just chopped a leg off. Its
Yeah.
first attack misses.
Cool.
Its second attack misses.
Shit.
Its third attack does hit. Would you like to parry?
I would like to attempt to parry, yes.
2 degrees of success or more, and you parry.
Alrighty, come on. Alrighty. It's unwieldy, so I rolled a 64.
That unfortunately does not parry.
Alrighty.
So
toughness is 5 plus 8 for armor, so that means I will reduce 13 points of damage.
11 points because it has a pen of 2.
Okay.
You take 1 whole damage.
Just a scratch.
Last attack. Misses completely.
Holy fuck!
So, you basically, it's slashing at you. Slash, banging off your power armor. You go to parry, it's one attack that gets through, and it just basically swipes across. It swipes your helmet, which gives you a little bit of impact damage from the helmet basically, being smashed into your skull. But it's only a flesh wound.
Does my helmet fly off?
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, cool. Bloody forehead. And I just look at it with pure hatred.
Urizen, you have 1 level of fatigue, 3 critical damage, and are currently sitting behind a tank with, a very frantic Inquisitor trying to keep you from dying. What would you like to do while basically laying there about to pass out?
I feel like doing anything is a bad idea because that increases the chances I would pass out.
Yeah, you're basically running on the remainder of adrenaline and,
Do Tau have adrenaline?
probably
Yeah.
or something equivalent.
I feel like just laying still, or whatever position I'm in, would be smart. Recuperating.
Haha, coupon.
Does that do anything?
Does what do anything? Sorry, I spaced.
Just, like, taking a turn to recuperate. What do you want, Ruff?
Yeah,
The
I'll
dog
let
is
you.
worried.
I'll let this count as basically in combat Medicae.
Okay.
Take off your points of critical damage. You won't be able to get post-combat Medicae, so effectively you're flat at 0, which means you're not actively dying, but you are heavily wounded.
Cool.
That's the condition, by the way, heavily wounded.
Cool.
Yeah, that basically translates to you need to stay on the ship to recoup for a while.
Yeah, but it's not like critical damage, it takes literal months.
I'm actually kind of imagining now the reason why Gradius and this demon are missing each other so much is basically like the battle between Achilles and Hector from the movie Troy. They're just that good at dodging and parrying each other.
Yeah,
Pretty
pretty
much,
much. Gradius, you're up.
Alrighty. Alright, fuckface, let's go. I miss.
Second attack.
I hit.
That hits. It's going to try and dodge you. How many degrees of success do you have?
0.
It rolled shit on its dodge. It rolled a fucking 92. You hit.
23 points of damage.
How would you like to do this?
Nice.
Alrighty, so I guess when it tries to do like a full-on pierce in my like with my exposed skull or with my exposed head, I basically parry it, saw off his arm as it reels back. I basically saw its abdomen when it falls down. Rather than just like killing it outright, I basically run my saw at the very base of its very top, like below the nape of the neck, where I basically push it into the ground and I begin tearing its wings off.
Alrighty, you rip its wings off as a trophy, as it lets out one final screech and falls to the ground, tongue lolling out of its fanged maw. Dead.
And then
Bitch!
from there, Gradius is just like panting in frustration, anger, and then from there, once he calms down, he looks around, assessing the situation. He immediately goes to Matthias. Or
I'm
Matthias.
still screaming.
He's still screaming for about another minute. At this point, you've probably stopped screaming and are more like sobbing on the ground, basically still in the fetal position. Matthias, you're still experiencing vivid, fear-induced hallucinations.
Woohoo!
Is there a puddle?
I love
there a
seeing the
puddle of
thing that tore me
piss?
to shred. No.
Yeah, there's a puddle of piss, beneath him on the floor as he's basically curled up in a ball, like, hands around his head, basically sobbing into his arms.
Oh my God.
I like to think that what he's hallucinating is the thing that tore him to shreds.
Yeah, Matthias,
nearly
that's
killed him.
exactly what you're hallucinating. You're basically hallucinating you're being torn to shreds again. You can feel phantom sensations of your limbs, the ones that you're, basically, the limbs you didn't lose being ripped off this time. You're imagining the maws, the teeth, the everything. And then you feel Clovis kind of shake you.
Get up, Master Vandergrim.
Wait the fuck up, Seneschal. We have Xenos to burn.
Matthew's just he just breathes.
I don't say that in canon, by the way.
He takes off his mask and like throws it to the side so he can breathe a little bit better.
Alun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh wait.
Hey.
Please roll me a willpower test.
Oh, sure thing. With my lower willpower now? Yeah, sure. Let me do that. I fail. Wow, crazy.
You're
Alun,
by how many degrees?
2.
2.
Exactly.
Roll me a d100 plus 20.
Oh, boy.
Can I use my ability to give him a plus 10% so that he can pass?
He wouldn't pass, but he'd only have 1 degree of
10%.
failure.
No, 10%, not 10. 10%.
I know, 10%, that's what I'm saying.
Which is a plus 10. That's what that means. When it says giving someone a plus 10% on something, that's a plus 10.
Yeah, I would still fail. I have a 27.
But do it anyways, so that he only has 1 degree of failure.
That's what I'm gonna do.
Thank you.
D100 plus 10 this time.
74.
Alrighty. Skid.
Yeah.
For the next 1d5 days, so 5 days.
Oh my god, awesome.
Um, as you're kind of looking around, you know the danger has passed, but you still feel like it could be anywhere. It could come for you anywhere. The thing could just come out of the tank, or maybe there's one behind Clovis you can't see. You're looking for danger everywhere.
Our paranoia.
For the next
How
5
lovely.
days, you have severe paranoia, are incredibly fearful and jumpy about everything. You gain a +10 bonus to all perception-based tests, but a -10 to willpower for the next 5 in-game days.
Oh boy, more minuses to my willpower. Matthews is already a pretty paranoid guy, so this definitely does not help.
Alun.
Mm-hmm.
Gradius is going to see that now that Clovis is dealing with Matthias. Gradius is going to approach Urizen because wouldn't he know how to handle like battlefield wounds and stuff like that?
Since it's on a Xenos, you would roll at a penalty, but yes.
Alrighty. I will approach, and can I basically like look at it and see if like is the limb salvageable, or will I have to talk to the mechanicus to craft a prosthetic?
You're looking at it, and you realize Clovis did a pretty good job patching things up. He already has clotting gauze in there, and you finish up the job that Clovis started from what it looked like he was doing. You're able to salvage it, and you look and you see that it may take a couple of, like a week or two of physical therapy once it heals to get Urizen completely back on his feet, and as agile as he was, but the limb will be saved. He'll have a massive scar, but he'll live.
Yippee!
And be fully mobile once he heals some more.
To recite the words of the guardsman, you shall impress many many a mate with that.
What?
Clovis leans into Gradius and says, Tau don't choose their mate. It's decided by committee.
Your assigned mate may or may not like the scar.
Although the scar might be a positive point on your application? Should ever you return to the spheres of influence of the Tau?
I don't know anything about my own people.
Which
It
is a
for-
shame for many reasons.
This unit isn't as good as providing comfort, so it will just say, "It is so this unit is appreciative. We will not have to replace you anytime soon."
Yeah, I'm glad I'm not dead either.
By the way, it is a canon fact that Tau do not choose their mates. They literally just bang
Yeah.
by committee.
Yeah,
Yep.
they're assigned. So,
Fun.
That being said,
You get paid time off to do it too.
What?
It's
yeah.
a joke.
you are alive.
Mm-hmm.
And, all things considered, from almost bleeding out, you realize mostly unscathed. Your men, though, looking around, aren't so lucky. As you've been talking, the last couple of the chaos creatures have been dispensed. But your men are not as fortunate as you were. You brought maybe, maybe 100, 200 guards. You think maybe 20 to 50 made it out. And all of them just are pale, look like they've just experienced their worst nightmare. Some of them are crying. Even the most stoic of your men you brought along are basically praying frantically to the God Emperor. But some are alive.
Does that include the volume of Skitari as well?
About the same number. You lost about 3/4 of your men. About half the Skatar you brought along were felled. As they're a little more durable than your average soldier.
Yeah.
But it's a grievous loss to the Mechanicus, too.
It's not great.
Looking around, Clovis, it may not have been your department, but things begin to become clear. At least, a picture is painted, should we say. Looking at the obvious chaos creatures, the foul land around you, you have an idea of what happened, knowing that she who thirsts potentially is around here.
Mm-hmm.
This is likely the doing of Slaanesh. This entire land probably tainted by overindulgent Drukhari, who mutated into the horrid winged creatures you saw before you. There aren't any Drakari
Oh.
left in this land. Their
Just
souls
these
were
winged
taken.
creature.
Their souls were taken, and these husky, horrible chaos creatures are all that was left behind.
Well, that is unfortunate. Clovis looks around and sees if there's any lizard folk around in sight who can help them.
There's one or two, maybe. There's a couple still left. Some of them were there left to guard the tunnel. The lizard folk suffered similar losses, though you notice their leader and a couple of very ritualistically dressed elders, you think probably the psychers they brought along, are still alive, muttering to each other in their native tongue, basically planning what to do, how to get the bodies back, probably, from the tone they're discussing things in, basically what to do with their dead.
Probably eat them. If considering they're savages, most likely.
You don't know, you can't understand their tongue, but you could bargain that as a potential guess.
That is exactly what he's thinking. He's thinking they probably eat their dead. Savages. They don't recycle, for God's sake. Actually, no, wait, they kind of do when you think about it. Just not in the way we recycle our dead.
Mm-hmm.
By turning him into paste.
Or servitors. See, they're just gonna use their dead for food. We could use them to make a labor force.
Hmm.
That's why we're civilized and they're not.
Oh, yes.
Clovis is gonna walk over to Matthias Vandergrim. For an expert in hunting Xenos, you've displayed a complete ineptitude at doing your job.
Damn,
Ow.
okay, damn, ouch. Matthias, who has probably, like, stood up at this point and, like, grabbed his mask again, he deeply bows to Clovis and he goes, "My apologies, Lord Captain. I let my fear get the best of me."
Hmm.
I'm afraid my
Disappointing.
fortitude when it comes to these kinds of things is quite low after my incident.
That much has been noted. Tend to the wounded. Make sure Master Urzen is in good condition.
Understood. I will not fail you again.
Also, I said ineptitude, not inequity.
Oh,
Oh.
right. Sorry, brain.
No, it's okay. Inequity is not the right word for this case.
No,
anyways.
it's not.
There we go.
Man, I love my characters being inept at their fucking job. I'm so great at being a seneschal, guys.
You did not have a good run. By the way, the only way for something like that happening is basically if exactly what happened to you is gonna happen. It's 171 or above on the fear table.
I have a really low willpower, and I did that on purpose because Matthias is insane. Literally.
Before we continue on to the tree itself,
me with
let
my
us take a
13
5-minute
insanity points.
break.
Yes.
Everyone be back by X40, I need a drink.
Me with my
Sure.
now 13 insanity points. Yay!
Hang on, I need to send Will a video.
Giant arrow pointing at Matthias. He is afraid. Well, he is a Xenos hunter. He's now kind of a little bit afraid of some of them.
Just gonna send this to.
They did
I-
kind of tear him to shreds. They
I
did
do-
kind of like
yeah.
kill him.
You saw what they did to Urzen.
I'll put
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
I was gonna
Matthias
say,
was hallucinating that he was torn to shreds again. Which, yeah, he was kind of, all of his limbs were ripped off, and he was left to die. And he did almost die. He lived. And you know, that moment, he kind of has a little bit of horrible PTSD from that, if I'm
Yeah.
honest.
I lived, but I died. No, it was the other way around. Fucking
So,
Buck the
I got,
Weasel
so
from
what happened
Ice
to you?
Age.
Didn't. I got killed.
Yeah, homie Matthias, well, he was a Xenos hunter. He's not, the point is that he's not anymore. For obvious reasons. He retired and became a paperwork slave. He is not a Xenos hunter anymore. Homie does not have the mental fortitude for it.
Yeah, obviously not.
Obviously
true.
not.
He saw a couple of chaos creatures, which the rest of his party just kind of went, "Oh, that's I don't like that."
He saw
And-
chaos creatures, which caused him to hallucinate his big PTSD moment.
He had a flashback, is what happened.
He had a flashback to the thing that made him have to quit his livelihood, do what he did all the time his entire life.
Bro was watching The Revenant while everyone else was in the middle of Saving Private Ryan.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, homie was having the worst time ever, and he pissed his pants. And Matthias is really big on appearances. He's so embarrassed.
Yeah, his boss called him out in front of everybody. He should be.
His boss called him out in front of him. He peed his pants. He's having a terrible time, and he just had a PTSD episode.
He went from having literally the best time of his life to having the worst time of his life in about
Yeah, the
5
best.
seconds.
He had the best time ever to having the worst time ever. Very skid-coded character moment, if we're honest. Homie has the best time, then the worst time. I love having a very low willpower. I did this on purpose. It wasn't even that low. It's a 31. That's not. It was a 31. It's a 27 now. Which I'm fine with. I really don't care.
Poor Skid.
Poor me. Poor me.
You
Poor
may want to
Matthias.
take some willpower advances, Skid.
Yeah, you might
Maybe.
want to. You might want
might want
to
to
buff
do that.
that out.
I might want to buff that, but I made it low on purpose because I thought I was like, oh, Matthias doesn't have good willpower. He's so traumatized already.
Yeah.
It probably went down the last time.
Yeah.
I have 13 insanity points, which means I now have plus 10 to my trauma modifier.
Yay.
And now I have the fun degree of madness of unsettled. I don't know what that does.
That doesn't do anything for now, but if you get 40 of those points, you'll gain a minor disorder.
Huzzah! A minor disorder! Yay!
Shame that.
It's okay. I made Matthias like this. At least he's not Ron, and I won't have to make another character because I didn't plan another one. Matthias was already my backup. If I have to make another one, I might cry again.
To be fair, I thought we were going to get very close to seeing what Tam's backup character would look like.
Yeah.
A character that I didn't have yet.
I mean, hey, you
Matt-
survived. Be very glad that hit you in the leg instead of the body or the head.
Oh yeah.
I'm currently playing my backup character. I don't think I can make another Seneschal.
Poor Skid.
I don't have enough knowledge about this game to play a Seneschal that well, but I'm already here.
You know, Skid, I feel like if
I only know about the AdMech. It's also very late.
technically Ron isn't dead.
Technically, Ron isn't dead, but he's not being
Welcome.
played. He's not welcome at the table.
I was kind of
Alright.
surprised how much Gradius was able to at least aggro one of them.
Dude, you were a fucking tank.
Yeah, I gotta really
For a
pump up my
moment.
toughness stat. If I
You tank those fucking chaos creatures like they were flies, man.
yeah,
That was
that's-
impressive.
Yeah, that was.
Alright.
I sat on the ground and screamed.
Hey, Skid, at least you avoided combat.
At
You
least
didn't
I
get
avoided
hit at
combat.
all.
I'm at full health. Ain't that cool? Now
You
I'm
didn't get hit at all.
I didn't get
My-
hit at all. I have more paranoia added on top of my
Well,
paranoia.
Yurzin
Gesturing
took
at my
the
ability paranoia.
physical damage, while Matthias took the emotional damage.
I took psychic damage.
He literally did take psychic
I-
damage so
Matt
bad
just
that he
wasn't
screamed and cried on the ground.
And pissed his pants. What a Daedalus
Pissed
coded
his
moment. Poor guy. He peed his pants.
Hey, Loon.
Yes.
Out of curiosity, how much more is there?
You're almost done.
Cool.
There's no more combat.
Okay.
Yay!
What do you estimate, like 10 minutes, 20 minutes. I'm trying to judge going down to the barn, that's all.
30-ish probably?
Okay, so I will keep my earbuds in, but be at the barn. Got it, cool.
Yes. Alright. So, as you all basically continue on towards the tree, which is
Do I
what
get a
you
new pair of
came here
pants?
for. I mean, you could take one off one of the bodies.
I'm not doing that. Matthew, I'm trying to think, would Matthews take pants off of a body, or would he rather stay in his pea-soaked pants? I unfortunately think he would rather stay in his pea-soaked pants. And he's just gonna cover it up with his coat.
You gain condition moist.
Ew. Icky. And Matthews is incredibly uncomfortable with this. Better than being in some dead guy's pants.
Alright. So, you all continue on, and you eventually reach the tree. Coming up to the base of the tree, you're once again filled with a sense of longing and loss. Its massive roots form a large hollow beneath it, where green glowing lights faintly pierce through the darkness. In its branches sit glowing globes that almost resemble tiny Terran moons, the motes emitting soft chimes when the wind whistles and howls through the branches. It feels like at some point, this place may have been holy.
Press X to doubt.
In a non-God Emperor honoring sort of way.
Oh. Yeah, Matthews, while we're like standing here, he's incredibly on edge, as you know. Yeah.
I'm posting
He's incredible.
the tree.
He's investigating the tree and looking
The
at
tree.
things. The tree.
As we're walking together,
Clovis
Matthew's-
Clovis is looking towards his men and like discreetly signaling them. Who's left in charge of the lizard folk?
It is the same one you talked to earlier, though he looks much more pale.
What is this?
It used to be the center of our village. There is no village here anymore. The spiky ones destroyed it when they came. Took everything. Now there's only the tree.
And the spiky ones became those winged beasts we saw earlier. But your people wouldn't have happened to unearth something unnatural here, have you?
Do you mean the metal shrine?
So you did find something.
It's down in the hollow. If that's what you're looking for.
He taps the side of the rhino. Forward! We investigate the shrine.
Alright. I have music for this. I just need to find it.
Wait.
I'm glad the music bot's actually working for once.
Yeah.
Alright. So, as you enter the hollow, you're met with a beautifully crafted metal shrine. Exactly as they said it was. It's elaborate, carved into and built into the tree, burned down candles sitting around its base. There's a tiny compartment open and ajar at the altar's base, as if something important had been removed in a hurry.
Clovis looks forward and starts investigating the shrine, seeing what's out of place and what just doesn't look like it's supposed to be there.
Alrighty, roll me scrutiny.
I don't think I have scrutiny.
Do you
Nope.
have logic?
I have basic. I have scrutiny as basic and logic as trained.
Roll me logic then.
I have trade and scrutiny.
You can roll me
Good.
scrutiny then, Skid.
Yippee.
It's a perception-based test, so you get a +10.
Yay! I still very much fail.
Same here.
I'm not at all focused on this shrine at all. I am so busy looking outside and looking at every single dark little patch in the trees I see.
Gradius,
Mm-hmm.
would you like to roll logic to see if anything's out of place in this shrine? Or, like,
Oh.
what's silly goofy?
Sure, certainly. Give me a moment. $31. My intelligence is 50, so I believe at 52. Let me double check. Yep, 53. So I get, for every 10, that is 2 degrees of success.
Okay. So, first things first, as you're looking inside the box, it almost resembles with some of the strange markings and etchings. You think to yourself that maybe some power source used to be here? You also find what appears to be a panel that can be opened. It looks like wood, but as you kind of press it down, you see it opens up to reveal a single green button.
Oh boy.
Uh-oh. So, looking around, I carefully press the button.
Nothing happens.
Hmm.
But as you look at the, I guess, power source area, you see one of the lizard folks produce, you know the slate Abril had? Think one of those. But bigger, more boxy. But it has the same glowing script etched into it. That was where the idol sat.
Okay.
Oh boy.
Okay. Oh, fuck. So, do we have an idol on us to place here, or that was
Yes,
what was
the
stolen?
lizard folk leader just produced one. He has the boxy thing that would go in there. It looks like the exact shape size you'd expect.
Okay, so would I be able to go, like, do I guide him to insert the contraption, or do I just take it myself?
If you intend on putting it back, he'll willingly hand it to you.
Okay, yeah, I intend to put it back.
Okay, so he hands it to you. You stick it in place, and you hear the sounds of stuff powering up. The kind of dormant green button begins to glow, and you see the candles kind of like flicker with light as a wave of heat rushes out. The power source has been put back in, and whatever internal mechanisms are in this tree have now been powered. Would you like to press the button again?
Yes, I would like to.
Alrighty, as you press it, you hear the sounds of gears whirring, metal clinking and cranking in, just moving in the walls as you see the shrine part down the middle and slowly open up to reveal a small metal chamber. Inside sits a beautifully made metal key with 5 green glowing gemstones within it. The metal is easily recognizable as the same one in Ron's legs and the devices Avril used around the ship, and is likely first key, which I will put in game general.
Oh.
Clovis walks over and takes the key. 1 down, 4 to go. Artistic little piece, isn't it? Clovis takes it and places it into a secure receptacle of his own choice. Well then, one step closer to understanding a very unusual mystery. Anyone else find anything interesting in here? Ignore the lizards, this is a holy site for them. If they get agitated, refer to me, and I shall ensure that there is no hiccups in communications.
I found nothing else of importance, Lord Captain.
All looking around, you think that this is pretty much it. You don't think there's anything else here of value. This entire metal shrine that they prayed to was likely just the security system for the key. Whoever hid it didn't want it found by primitive Xenos. They wanted it to stay sealed as long as possible. In fact, as it's opened, you almost feel the tree kind of react and almost shudder as it's removed.
Noted. Have we been able to determine anything else about the key?
It seems fairly mundane for what you thought it would be. Not very high tech, at least you don't think so from the shape. It looks like a regular key, but with actual time and a proper research center, Gradius, you could probably learn more about it, or Clovis, either of you. Probably you'd want to put your heads together, but as of right now, on the planet's surface, it's hard to run any real tests to determine if it has any properties.
Noted, but for now, it's inert and secured.
Yes.
Good, that's one less loose end.
Lord Captain, do you desire the student to be in possession of the artifact?
I shall hold on to it until we're back on the ship. We will conduct our analysis there with a functional lab.
Understood.
As for our lizard folk friends, how are they settling in?
It appears
You see they're a little... The remainder of the lizard folk are a little unnerved just by the condition of everything. But you think that they'll settle back in okay, now that the rot, we can call it, has been purged.
Excellent. They're all gathering in one spot now. Clovis looks towards Gradius and Matthias. Spread out and make sure there's nothing else of value left behind. I believe our business here is concluded.
Understood.
Everyone, please make me one last awareness test.
Yay!
Ah!
I rolled a d10 on accident, my bad, hold on. That's a 13. That is off of a 4d6.
I got a 7
Clovis.
off of 50.
Clovis, you're scanning the horizon, the area around the tree, and you eventually come across what appear to be the ruins of probably what used to be the Drakari outpost. A small thing, but inside you see it's packed with Xenos weaponry. You find... let me look here. Effectively 1 profit factor worth of Xenos goods.
Excellent. More goods for the Inquisition. Because, the Inquisition can totally be trusted with alien technology.
Yes, totally.
Yes.
Matthias.
Like the canister.
That's me!
As you're kind of poking around, you realize that... How do I put this? You go and check out the globes on the tree. They don't look very natural to you. The tree itself strange form of Xenos technology. What species, you're not quite sure. What origin, who knows. But you found some strange little Xenos lamps.
Cool.
Do with that what
womp.
you will.
I guess I'll go inform Clovis about them.
He just looks at the lamp and goes, "This is a find. I'm not sure what use it will be of, though.
Studying, perhaps.
It is worth cataloging."
Indeed.
Hmm. Did you find anything else of value?
No, sir. I did not.
Very well, then. That will be all.
Urizen, as you're kind of walking around, on your lame leg, you aren't able to go it very far, but you kind of stumble and kick off the top, like a leaf pile. And you begin to see something green and glowing underneath. You kind of carefully go and take it out, and you find another one of those triangular bombs that Abril planted in the engine room. Congratulations, you found an explosive.
Oh, good. We don't need to use our own to blow up this place.
I'm going to write all this down, by the way, in a cargo hold.
Appreciate it.
Can someone read what Tam typed for
Uh,
me?
Tam typed in. Oh no, that's.
Oh, that's Skid.
I got Ren very interested in Matthias. Anyway, I'm back.
Yeah.
That was a while ago, and Skid just said, "Be right back." And Tam is doing barn stuff.
Okay. I'm assuming Urzen would report this to Clovis. Yeah.
Urzen will show the bomb to Clovis. Oh, excellent. Excellent. We'll take that with us as well. I guess there's nothing else of value here?
No, it doesn't appear so.
Gentlemen, I believe our business here is concluded. Head back to the Rhino and we'll begin preparations to retreat back to camp, and from there, off this planet.
Alright. You swiftly and unceremoniously get back to the Rhino. Your troops following behind you, injured and battered, but some of them alive. And as you get back to camp, you see your Vox officer calling to you. Lord Captain, sir, we've received a worrying transmission from the Sun's Heart. Another ship has entered the system.
Oh, wonderful. Is it Drakari?
No, sir. It appears to be of Imperial make. Kind of. You see him kind of, basically hand you the Voxcaster, basically the headset, and you hear Verton on the other end. Lord Captain, sir.
Status reports, we have a vessel of unidentified make and origin in the system. What can you tell me?
Let me real quickly pull up the stats for this thing. Okay. It appears that a fairly large make, very large crewed light cruiser has entered the system. We don't know exactly who, but it does not appear to be of Xenos make. It looks vaguely Imperial in nature, however it's not flying any signs of being Imperially aligned. There are no signs of the Aquila on the outside, and despite being in good condition, it seems like it's been traveling for a long time. Never seen an Imperial port in years.
That's not good. Worrying, even. Have there been any attempts to communicate with the vessel?
We tried to hail it, but all attempts were turned down. It appears to be maintaining complete radio silence.
But it's not engaging our vessel or on intercept course.
No. It appears to be hovering slightly outside the solar system, just in the range of our scanners. I'm not sure they even realized we were able to pick it up from the distance that it came out from. It's as if it was purposely trying to stay out of our radar while still monitoring the system.
And yet it was able to turn down our calls for communication.
We were able to hail it, but we're barely able to see it. Any attempts at communication were in fact turned down.
Well, no point in doing anything. We maintain distance from the ship.
Yes, sir.
However, I want a firing solution on that ship at all times. If it does decide to make a move, we must be prepared.
Of course, sir. I will issue orders to the gunnery decks to keep our guns trained and locked on the ship at all times.
Yes. Though we need to be vigilant for our surroundings. It might be a distraction for a vessel that did slip through unannounced.
Currently, it's the only thing we see in the system. However, I will let you know if we pick up anything else.
Good. Everything okay, Will?
Yeah, I'm just agreeing.
Okay.
Am I making too much noise?
No, just asking. Alright then, everyone. Time we head back to the ship and figure out what special properties this key has. Naturally, it opens a lock, but I want to know it doesn't double as something else.
Understood.
Understood.
Let's move out then.
All right.
Yay, back to the ship.
The Rhino gets packed back up into one of the Arvis sliders, and the other quickly shuttles first you, not piloted by Urizen due to his injuries, but by a reliable pilot, flied back up to the Sun's Heart, where you disembark. You go to the bridge, and you can indeed confirm exactly what Verdant was telling you. Looking on the ship's sensors, there appears to be exactly what he described, an unidentified light cruiser vessel that, looking at what scans you can get of it, appears to be vaguely of Imperial make. But it's just sitting there, dormant, as if waiting for something. Someone? Who knows? But given how far you are from the lights of the Astronomicon, it's certainly worrying.
Do we all recognize this ship?
Do you at all recognize this ship? Well, first of all, I'd like to say you can't see this ship.
Oh, okay.
You're getting a scan of the ship.
Okay.
So, effectively what they're saying, and from what the scans, you can tell kind of what's on the outside, but looking at it, Clovis, specifically, make me an intelligence test.
That's a 1d100 coming up. Aiming for under 100 divided by 2.
And if Clovis doesn't, then Gradius has total recall.
That's an 81. Gradius, what
Clovis,
the fuck type of ship is this?
It seems vaguely familiar, but Gradius, as you look at the very rudimentary imagery you got from some of your, very zoomed in cameras, it's fuzzy and blurry, but you look at some of the geometry, and then you see something that piques your interest, something you remember. There's 2 small attack fighter crafts sitting on either side of its wings. And you remember very vividly Carnicus's ship having 2 assault craft, one on either side. You can't tell for sure because of the image quality, but you're vaguely certain Carnicus has followed you here for one reason or another.
Gradius, any news?
I point out the flyers to the party.
Noted. It might be Carnicus's ship then.
Indeed.
Carnicus.
A scoundrel we met in Footfall, where your predecessor disgraced himself.
I see.
Carnicus of Steel had some business dealings with my own predecessor, and while we did not part on hostile terms, it was not amiable either. Apparently he's followed us here as some sort of maneuver. Perhaps he intends to beat us to our prize, or whatever it was Abril was working towards. Urzin asks, "Sir, does that mean Ron's there?" And Llewellyn Smythe just looks at the tower and says, "Well, associating with a traitor to mankind does not endear Conicus to me at all. There is a distinct possibility that Ron is in fact aboard that vessel. Whatever reasons he has for being aboard is irrelevant. We continue with the mission, the presence of Conicus's vessel or no. We've already grabbed one key, and if we're careful, we might be able to procure several more before Conicus gets one himself. This has become an arms race, gentlemen. The first salvo has not been fired yet, but confrontation is inevitable. We must secure more keys before anything. We'll deal with him when the time arises. Master Urzin, chart course for the next planet. After which, you are relieved towards the medbay."
Speaking of next planet, this is the time on Sprockets where we discuss
And the scrapyard.
which is where you're probably going last, because that's where you need to stick the keys into.
Yep.
So that one
Right.
doesn't really count.
So a death world, a feudal world, and
Or an ice world.
or an ice world. It'd be really cool if I could actually use my skills as a seneschal to talk to someone for once.
My vote is ice or death world.
I don't want to deal with Drukhari again.
You didn't deal with Drukhari this time.
You were dealing with mutated Drakari bat people.
You were
Same
dealing with
thing.
daemons.
Same thing.
No, those were daemons. That's not Drukhari. That's
Same
daemons.
thing.
Well, if you wanted to
Basically
use-
the same thing.
If you wanted to talk to people, Urgothacan is probably your best bet.
That's true.
It's a feudal world and there's primitive humanoid species there.
Ew.
It looks like it's mostly a tropical planet covered in ocean and volcanic island chains.
That sounds
Yep.
fun. A little
With
vacation.
people who
slash
pray
day.
to with people who pray to volcanoes.
Ooh, like it's a little. We can go on a little vacation, guys.
Urgothacan
sounds
it is
fun.
then.
Yay, vacation! Maybe I
I
won't
love
piss
how you
my
two are
pants
saving
there.
the ones that obviously are just trying to kill you via environment for last.
Yes, we are.
Considering that Matthias took a bad trip and Urzin was crippled, I think the vacation planet's the best bet for next.
I think, yeah,
Yeah.
Matthias had the best time of his life and then the worst time of his life and is now incredibly shaken up. And I think he really needs to remind Clovis that he is not, in fact, a Xenos hunter anymore, but he probably doesn't want to tell him that.
Alrighty, I am moving your ship over to the correct planet, and allow me to create a token for Carnicus's fucking death cruiser.
That's what it's called, a death cruiser?
It's not called the Death Cruiser. That's not actually what it's called.
It would be cool if it was called the Death Cruiser.
Yeah, well, it's not called the Death Cruiser.
I don't
It
know.
is a planetary assault ship,
I
but
didn't
it's
call
not
it
a
a Death
Death
Cruiser.
Cruiser.
Oh, hey, well, would you look at that? The planet that we're going to is, like, the closest one to where we just were, and farther away from Carnicus. How perfect! Would you look at that?
I mean, we're gonna roll up on him and beat and curb stomp the shit out of him, but, you know, first things first, we need keys. We need more keys than he does.
Yep.
My bet is he's gonna start gathering keys, so if we can get a 3-2 advantage over him, then we can force him to come
I
to
mean,
the
there's
table.
only 4 of them.
There's only 4 of them. He also, unfortunately, has Ron, and actually Ron is better built than Matthias is.
Well, yeah, but that's not being counted into how quickly
It's
he
not
could
being
do stuff.
counted.
He arrived, like, in canon, you guys have already been in the
Very
system
late.
because you were having to do scans and stuff for, like, a week or so before you were able to go planet-side with accurate information. So, like, he arrived a week after you did.
Damn.
Which, by warp travel, means his ship is a lot slower. Because that's a lot longer in the warp than you'd think.
By the way, Matthews is gonna very subtly sneak away and change his pants while discussing planets. He's gonna put in his 2 cents and then go and put on a different pair of pants.
With
then
Matthews putting on a new pair of
come back.
pants, Urizen getting much needed medical attention, Gradius basically going, hey, that's Carnicus's ship, and Clovis deciding that everyone's going to the last planet in the system that isn't trying to kill you by weather alone. We will end our session for today.
Yay! We did the planet in only one session.
Good job!
And in only one session.
I could not do that.
It'd be like that sometimes.
Alright,
Yes.
everyone, say your final thoughts and say goodbye to the recording.
Oops.
Gute Nacht.
Skitari.
Bye.
I'm really looking forward to Mechanicus too.